baby. Eric White, I'm excited about tonight, dude. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Lots of good stuff coming tonight.
Lots of stuff. Guys, welcome to episode 155 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. Tonight's show, another banger. Derek Putnam, the voice of Sick the Mag and Bragging Rights. There you go, Nate Prater. I know you're watching right now. He's on to talk about Speedfest, an event with Bragging Rights, Streetcar Takeover, and Sick the Magazine. Plus, we're going to talk about Sick Summer coming up. So we've got Derek and the Diehl Brothers on for 90 minutes. Okay, you ready for this? The Diehl Brothers are going to be on the same time because they rated the trophy case at Speedfest is absolutely insane. And they are just total badasses at Sick Week and Sick Summer. So they're going to be on. We've got updates for Rocky Mountain Race Week, Streetcar Challenge, and Street Weekend UK results. So, Mr. Eric White, hit the intro. Let's do this thing. We got to get rolling. I got to quit rambling.
All right, let's go.
This is going to be awesome. So Eric just sent me a text. He said, "Hey dude, you're a little glitchy. So as long as the audio is good, I'm just looking for screenshots of when I look goofy." Okay. That's what we need. As long as the audio stays good, keep me on the screen. We had an outage earlier that ended just before we went live on the show. And so we'll see what happens on my end. Eric does have the slides up on his side as well. So we should be good to keep on rolling. And we have Derek Putnam, obviously backstage, who is, better at this than we are. So, we can roll through this, I'm sure. Guys, my name is Mike Knox. I'm the host of this show and the news that happens on Saturday mornings here at Drag Driver Pete. My right-hand man over here, Mr. Eric White. What you got going on, dude?
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news, and still hammering through some circuit photos. And I sent you some snippets of some one today that I was going through them last night, and I was like, these ones are going to be good. So really trying to get those done before I leave for Sick Summer. It's going to be close. I'm like 3/4 of the way done with day 2. So if I can just get a little time, hopefully I can hammer through the rest of them.
Oh, yeah. I believe in you, brother. Well, guys, listen, I made the trip up to Rocky Mountain Race Week and got to see a ton of our race car friends. It was really cool to go up just for a couple days. But I'll tell you this much. We're going to talk about in a little bit all the struggles I had on the way home. But, man, that was really tough to leave. As racers were leaving Sunday morning, for day 2. It was really tough. I was having a hard time moving through all of that stuff. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. And it was awesome to hang out with everybody the other day. I can't wait for you to see all of our race car friends over at Sick Summer. And then, of course, our sponsors. Can't do any of this kind of stuff without them. So if you're doing some shopping, hit these guys up. Summit Racing, of course, title sponsor of the show and news here, plus the circuit. We got Diehl Works, of course, our official fuel delivery of Drag Driver Pete, Molly Motorsport, best pistons in the game, in a lot of very, very fast cars. They can do custom stuff. They can do standard bore stuff. Eric was working with Eric Grillio over there and got some pistons for the Mustang that should be coming soon. Driven Racing Oil, of course. You guys will see them at Sick Summer. Dude, did you see the post that I think it was Michael Neal made it the other day? They're building out the they didn't call it a merch trailer, but it was like the supply trailer or something like that. I can't remember what they called it. So
Yep.
going to be awesome to see that thing in person. You're going to get to see it in person. I'm not going to see it in person right away, but I'm sure we will be doing it very soon. And of course, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, and Low Dollar Motorsports. If you can't find what you need to build your car in there, there is a problem that you have going on with your stuff. And of course, our sponsor or our partner for media coverage, PowerTube TV, and then Racing Junk Classifieds, who built a drag and drive segment for drag and drive cars over there. I mean, like, dude, it doesn't get any better than that. Well, let's let Brian Loans tell us about Summit Racing, and then we'll continue the roll on here.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable, and it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Awesome. Well, big shout out to Summit right now. A lot of those guys are over on Hot Rod Power Tour as we speak. Looks like a ton of fun, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to drive the old truck over to Tulsa on Thursday, because Tulsa is the final day stop there at Tulsa Raceway Park. And I just want to hang out with all the Summit guys, but then like the other, 5,000 other cool cars that are going to be there as well.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, I should. I definitely should. I should leave it just packed and not unpack anything and just drive it over the way it is. So big shout out to them, man. That's a haul, and to take a bunch of cars and fun stuff and try and do that every day is pretty interesting, I can bet. So figured I would flip through a couple of photos here. I love the Denim Machine van. If I was a real man, I would just buy one of these and I would just convert it into a camper and cruise it.
Yeah.
That would be the best, but I'm not going to do that. But while you're on summitracing.com, make sure you grab your Drag Driver Pete Summit branded shirts, hoodies. We have ball caps now over there, which I still haven't ordered. As you guys can see, I'm wearing my nice Molly hat. And then they've got big brim hats as well, which you all know we need. My neck is completely just scorched from the weekend from wearing this hat. Should have bought me a big brim hat while we had them at the circuit. But that's the way it goes sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Drag Driver Pete updates. I feel like we're moving fast, which is awesome because we've got a long night ahead of us here. So if you have been watching and you are friends of mine on Facebook, you saw this adventure right here. The old truck made the trip to Great Bend with no issues. It did everything like it should, 15 miles to the gallon, and just cruised along 75, 80 miles an hour on the highway. I parked it for the next day and a half, set my canopy and tent up and all that kind of stuff, and then jump in it to drive home. It's rolling along fine for the first 150 miles of the drive home. Well, probably more than that. It's probably 250 miles home. And then I feel like what I hit is a really big dip in the road. And then the truck acted like a tire had blown out. So if you've ever had a flat on the rear of a truck with a spool or car with a spool, it drives really weird because both tires are trying to drive the same speed. What had happened was the lug nuts on the spacer had loosened up a little bit and just wallowed out that hole they were in and completely sheared the studs off, all 6 studs on the back. Well, when the truck tried to change lanes on me and get all squirrely, I pull over real quick. Danny Gruba and Miles were in front of us, and I'll tell that story in just a second, or in front of me, not in front of us, we're in front of me. And when I jump out to look, the drum at that point was sitting on the inside of the rim, so it looked normal. Right. So it didn't look like it had dropped a whole bunch. It was probably 1.5 inches or 2 inches lower than what it was before. Right. So I'm like, okay, it's weird. I jumped back in the truck. They have pulled over just a little bit ahead, quarter mile ahead or whatever. So I take back off and get back on the interstate, and it is all over the place because at this point, the tire is now trying to walk itself out the side. Luckily, the fender openings on those trucks are low, so it kept the tire in, which kept me off of the ground. So big win there. But with the shearing of the studs, I I've never had that happen before, so I don't know if I've ever put wheel studs in a vehicle, thinking back now. So I grab the lug nut and I text Danny what it is, what your model of the truck is, all that kind of stuff. It's a factory 12-bolt rear end, all that kind of stuff. So he goes and gets studs. Well, it's a 30-mile round trip to go 8 miles because of the way the interstate is set up. So it's the goofiest thing ever. He gets back. Well, they're the wrong studs. The splined shank area is too big to go through. So they're like, Danny says that's the only ones they had. Well, that's not going to work. So Miles is like, well, do you have a grinder? We'll grind down and just kind of build a shank out of it there, or a splined area, and slide it in and bolt it up that way. So we did that, and that took about 2 hours. By the time we got done, we were about 4.5 hours on the side of the road, and then ended up leaving the drum undone on the driver's side there because that brake line was off. Another long story. That brake line was already off from a previous repair that I had forgotten about. And so we left the drum off and just essentially used the ground down studs as nuts on the back and just rammed those bolts, the nuts on there as hard as we could. And I drove like 40 miles an hour the whole way.
Oh man.
10 miles. It was pretty sketchy. It really stressed me out a whole bunch, to be honest. But that's the way it goes when you're doing hot rod stuff. So always check your spacer lug nuts to make sure, because I would have caught it if I don't know if I would have caught it or not, but I would have caught that they were maybe loose. Maybe there were 3 of them that were loose, and it just, so anyways, I checked the bolts on the wheel itself, to the spacer to the wheel, and they were all tight. There's nothing loose there, but I didn't pull the wheels off and check in behind, which is what I should have done. So lesson learned, all that fun stuff. So that was a pretty good adventure. But the reason we were there, the reason we were towing Miles home, was because Danny Grubaugh had a trailer, because he had to rent a U-Haul trailer to pick up Tom Bagley's car in Tulsa. So it was like, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Oh man. Said he had almost the same thing happen, but on the starting line.
Yep. For all the world to see.
Yeah. Yeah. This one here, it was pretty, we were probably 5 feet from the interstate, and there's an exit just after that bridge. So people were not getting over. There was some times where it was pretty close there.
Yeah, that'd be a little sketchy.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So obviously the truck made it back home, all that kind of stuff. 875 miles, 410 on Friday, and then 465 on the way home that day.
So what's the plan? Are you gonna replace those with the correct ones, or you just gonna leave those the way they are?
So we did drive it to O'Reilly's, and they had some that pulled through that were, I would say, they're close. So that is my plan for tomorrow, is to pull it all back apart and pull. They only had 4 studs at O'Reilly's, so we left 2 in from the repair, air quotes, and then so I'll replace all 6 with brand new ones. That way we have no chance of a wallowing out as we make our drive to New York for the Great American Detour. So, or next, I guess, to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hot Rod Power Tour is at Tulsa on Friday, and so it's going to rain Friday morning until about 8 a.m. as the forecast looks now, and I don't want to drive it over all morning in the rain, so I may go over Thursday afternoon. So a lot of work to do in the morning, but that will be great roadworthiness for the Great American Detour, which is my next plan. So I've said it just a few times, I don't think many, but this is an exciting trip. This is a trip that my grandfather made a long time ago. He didn't make down Route 66 and like what we're going to do with it, but he drove that old truck from New York to LA on one of his trips to do all of his stuff. So pretty exciting to be able to make this trip and do all that.
Yeah. You're doing the whole trip as well?
No, I'm only going to go to Tulsa. The turnaround time between when I would get to Modesto and then back home, and then turn around and have to go or have to leave for Big Sky Race Week. It's just too tight. So I'm only going to go to Tulsa with them, which puts me home the end like the 30th or 30th or 1st of July, something like that. And that'll give me a week and a half at the house before I need to leave for Big Sky. So I'm kind of sad I'm not doing the whole thing, but man, this is going to be an incredible adventure. This is a big one. I've been to New York, but not like in New York like that, especially driving around with something like this. So it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm gonna convoy with Robert on his way up there. So it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but we dropped the newest Backbone of Drag and Drive article today, which is featuring Mr. Kelvin Poe, who's in the incredibly just immaculate Pontiac GTO there. Dude, I love this thing. It's just so badass. And you and I met him. I think we were at, what was the drive-in we went to that time where we that's when we met the David Hurt with the Roadrunner, right? They ate lunch with us. Kelvin was there. I can't remember. It was Drag Week 24.
24, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of that place, but this is his 14th event as a driver. He's at Rocky Mountain Race Week right now. 14th event as a driver. I think he's done like another 4 or 5 as a co-pilot. That's not in this article, but I'm going to update that and message him after this. All of it in Pontiacs. Thought that was pretty cool. Not always this 65 Pontiac because he just got it finished, but this thing is pretty awesome. 505 cubic inches Pontiac power, baby, and a huge turbo. So kind of neat. And then last roundup here on the Drag Drive Repeat updates is Mr. Fro from our Gearhead Perspective podcast that plays here as well on Drag Drive Repeat. He is doing the power tour with his mom, which is super cool, man. I love that this guy's getting out there and doing that. I was on the phone with him today looking for him to send me some photos. He said, you're going to have to pull it from Facebook because I'm trying to get a tire fixed. We've had wiring issues and we've had cooling issues. So he's like, my phone's at 3% battery. He's like, I'm not having a great day. So they were in St. Louis getting ready for doing all that stuff and head out in the morning. So good luck to him. I hope he's got it all sorted, but he was having a rough time at that moment. So grab this photo, but super cool. I love the green top, and he works with that green company there in the background. And it's such a cool car. His grandfather owned and drove that car, and then now Fro has it. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah. For sure.
All right, sir, let's work on some race car friend stuff. I'll let you swing us into the beginning of this.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Rocky Mountain Race Week racers that are Race Car Friends members here. So they are on the last day at Pueblo right now. They're going to lock in their averages, but still have to make the drive back to Great Bend to finish the event, right? So right now we've got Matt Donovan, who is leading the gassers, 10.101 at Great Bend.
Yeah, he kicked ass, dude. It was really fun to watch him. And this is his first Rocky Mountain Race Weekend. Of course, if you guys remember, he's the Race Car Friends member who won this entry a few months ago. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Matt. Appreciate Matt Donovan giving me the time, dude, during the whole weekend. Like he was having a great time. We were going over a bunch of stuff, and he was talking about all the things he's done. And he was like, I'm really excited to be here and to be able to do this. So I really want to hear how much he enjoyed that 572 mile drive day through the mountains. So it'll be cool. So we're going to have him on next week to just kind of talk about Rocky Mountain Race Week. Up next, Jason Hurley, overall leader, his best ET, not at a Rocky Mountain Race Week historically, but of the event and his this time 699 with a 5 at 203 miles an hour.
Ooh, moving out.
Yeah.
Dustin Peterson is in second in the Ultimate Radio. His best ET 851 with a 7 at Pueblo.
Yeah, dude, that guy was getting down. He was having a blast. Has a whole new back glass sticker as well. Eric Reisner up next in Pro Street, currently sitting in second place with an 853 with a 9. When we were in Great Bend, he ran an 849 with a 4. So it's like he can't turn in anything quicker than an 850. So he's like, oh man.
Right.
So anyway.
Then we've got Alex Arquette. His best ET is a 10.749 at Great Bend.
Yeah. Really fun to watch him. Nico Christofri. I've been saying it wrong for the whole time. That car sounds incredible. Big burnouts. You see that burnout he posted today?
I did.
Golly, dude, that thing gets down. 10-199. He's third in Outlaw Street as of going into racing today.
Yep. John Daltrey, best ET of 9,321 at Great Bend.
Yeah, that guy got a hold of it at Great Bend. It was really awesome. He was running his licensing passes, and so none of the fast stuff he ran before this counted, because he was working towards his licensing passes, and he laid it down, man. He had a big shot of nitrous in it and all that stuff. Up next, Jesse Hazlitt, best ET of the weekend, or of the week, 10-117, currently sitting in 10th place, or in 7th place in 10-0 index with a 10-149 average.
That is wild.
Dude, big time.
A 10-1 sitting in 7th place.
Yeah.
Crazy. Aaron Roberts, DNF, unfortunately, broke the trans in Great Bend. The CDF drum bushing is what it's looking like. And they're jumping in the 41 and hitting a few days of the power tour.
Yep. So talked to him today just because I was like, dude, what happened? Y'all have raced that car a whole bunch. And he was like, oh, man, no big deal. Just broke some things. He's like, we're getting in the car and going up, going to surprise Fro. So that was kind of exciting. Red Hat Scotty run a best ET of 10-578. He's also in index getting his ass kicked. He's in like 20th place.
Oof. Rich Van Allen, 12,659 for his best ET.
And then a familiar name within the drag and drive community, Mr. Robert Williams, up there. Him and his wife, love them. They're an awesome power couple. He's run a best of 11:49 at Great Bend in the Hellcat. You guys know him from the Project X Nova. He's in the Hellcat here and just having a great time. Said he loves Rocky Mountain Race Week and all the roadside attractions that they end up getting into.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's our Race Car Friends update. If you guys want to follow up on Race Car Friends members, you can do that on dragdriverpete.com/racecarfriends-member. And tell us about some driven racing oil stuff.
All right, hit this ad read and we'll get in it.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat-tapped camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
And then you guys know the deal, DDR10, 10% discount on anything at drivenracingoil.com. Well, tell us a little bit about Two-Lane Throwdown.
Dude, 10 days away. We're 10 days away. I can't believe it. It has snuck up on me again. Two-Lane Throwdown brought to us by Velocity Motorsports. I'm excited to have Robert Young involved in this. Streetcar guy. Doing streetcar things with his streetcar and now owns a shop, and it's going to be, it's going to be open to the public. It's going to be kind of fun. 4 days left on discounted tickets to returning racers. So $25 off a $150 ticket. That'll run until Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then if you've raced with us before, send us that. That will save you. Send us that you're interested, and we'll get it in. But you guys can see I set the route today. So we're going to leave the track to the right or north, and we're going to follow this. I think this is going to be fun, right? Okay. I've been back and forth with Dustin Cottle on what we should do and how we should route this. And initially, because we're a mandated 2-hour window, I wanted to do Velocity Motorsports first because I feel like people are going to be hungry. We're going to do some pizzas or burgers or something there and some snacks and all of that. And then the Blue Whale is our second stop. Okay. In conversations with Dustin and how far we should drive, the first route I had was like 70 something miles. The next route was like 120 miles. And so Dustin's like, hey, why don't you go up and cross this huge bridge that's up there? So we're actually going to leave the route. We're going to leave the Tulsa track and go north by. You're looking at this photo here. For the folks on the podcast, just jump over to YouTube. We're going to turn right. We're going to go through some, I would say, really cool country because we're going to be down and up and all over the place. And then we're going to come back Route 66 from basically Claremore all the way down to the Blue Whale. And then we'll follow that into town, into Tulsa. And that will take us down into Velocity Motorsports. We're going to run 66 for, probably, I think it's like 40 miles of this 100-mile trip. So it works out to be right at 99.6 miles by the route we have. And then Velocity Motorsports for a late afternoon snack. Racing begins back at 3 o'clock. So I'm hoping that we're going to end up with like folks leaving at like noon and getting to Velocity Motorsports around 2. So, leave that last hour at the track for somebody else. Jump on the road. Let's get back. And then let's get back because we only have 3 hours from 3 to 6 to make our final passes that you're good to lock in one of your 6 classes with. So it's going to be really, really important for folks to get back in time. So don't wait until the last second to leave and then have to haul ass through all that stuff and not have any pizza at Velocity and then be trying to get back in time to get your passes in. So that's kind of the hope of that. And I'm going to put all that in an email to everybody that's signed up. And then the last note here, Cody Ham, this dude is a freaking animal. He's doing 6 Summer, and then they're going to leave 6 Summer, and they're going to drive all night long, and they're going to come race at 2 lanes down. He's already bought his ticket.
Yes.
Dude, I told him, I said, don't buy your ticket yet, just in case you're too tired. He goes, oh, no, if I don't buy it now, I'm not coming. I was like, okay, come on, let's go.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, pretty exciting. In 10 days. I can't believe it.
Yeah, coming up real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So next here we got some updates from Rocky Mountain Race Week, it looks like. 10-0 Index has 30 cars in the 10-0 Index, and we saw that with Dustin Peterson being a 10-149 sitting in 7th place.
Yeah. Yeah. Not Dustin Peterson. Who's Jesse Haslett.
Jesse Haslett. There you go.
Yeah. So that class is pretty incredible, dude. It's the second largest class of the event.
Wow. Stick Shift has 25 cars, which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
18 racers in Junior Street, which is amazing.
Bro, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That is what's up.
43 in Tailgate, which is also really good.
Yep, and that's sponsored by Cornerstone Performance Transmissions, Mr. Alex Arquette.
Yep. Tom Bagley had to swap head gaskets. I saw that on Facebook there.
Dude, incredible story. Like, dude is driving that thing from Huntsville, Alabama. Not Huntsville, Alabama. I don't know, over by Atlanta somewhere, and then ends up making it all the way to Tulsa. The story behind, I can't wait till y'all see his video that's going to come out when he gets back home, because he pulled into the Edelbrock site in Memphis and lost the front tie rod as he pulled in their parking lot. Okay.
Oh, no.
It took them like 6 hours to fix it because it had gnarled some stuff up. So they had to like build a new rod and all this kind of stuff. Then he makes it to Tulsa. Danny Gruba has to rent a U-Haul trailer to pick him up so they can get up so he can get teched in. He basically teched with the heads off the car.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What's your next note here is talking about Danny. He came to visit and then also saved everyone's day.
Dude, everybody's day. So big shout out to Danny Gruba. Danny's roadside service is I don't know. I need to send him more money, I think. So obviously rents a U-Haul trailer to pick up Tom in Tulsa, brings him up there, helps him work on the car overnight. Jordan White, who was also at the circuit in the ex-police car Dodge, it's got the white doors. Okay. Jordan loses the transmission as they pull in the driveway there at Great Bend. So Danny, they can't find one close. Danny loads him and his girlfriend or wife up in the car. They drive 2.5 hours one way to Wichita, pull a transmission out in the junkyard. Danny helps him, gets back in the truck, brings him back, helps him put it in. A guy named Miles had broken his ring gear or something like that on his Mustang, and it wouldn't pull the car. It would pull it up on the trailer. So luckily Danny had the U-Haul trailer still. So Miles loads his car on the trailer. I hook up the miles his little drag and drive trailer. And I'm like, no, dude, it only adds 50 miles to go through Tulsa. No problem. Following along with him. I tear my lug studs off and Danny has to drive 40 miles and spend hours on the roadside. The crazy part about this whole thing is once Danny gets done and drops miles off in Tulsa and we split ways, Danny still had 250 miles to drive.
Oh, wow.
To go get his truck or to go get his trailer in Texas and pick up all the supplies that he needed to then drive 300 miles to his job that he was doing.
That's wild.
Dude, it's so crazy. So Danny's the man.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then some promoters on site. Cody of Weekend Warrior Race and Relax.
Yep, him and his dad were there. 2 cars, 4 people. It was awesome.
Yeah, Ethan and Portia of Wild West Dragon Dash were there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brian Havlick of Havlick's Fastest Streetcar Shootout was there.
Yeah, he made it one day and he said, I'm going home. The car's not right. It's not tested. It's not doing things like it should. We're going to the house.
Yep. It's a good idea. You never want to be in a spot where you break something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look at our June events here. You can see all of these that we got going on. So Street Weekend is complete. Streetcar Challenge is complete. We're going to talk about those in the J-Wire. Alaska Speed Week is going on right now. So is Rocky Mount Race Week. Six Summer is in 4 days. The one on the screen is incorrect. It is the 14th through 19th. BC Drag It Challenge is in 7 days. Home Quarter Drag and Drive is in 9 days. 2-Lane Throwdown in 10 days. 16 days for East Coast Drag and Drive. 17 days for the Great American Detour. And 19 days for Buckeye Skips.
Dude. 11 events in June is insane.
Yep. And I did update the calendar for Six Summer. So that actually took the 14th as being a day that was open off. So we have 6 days for the month of June that didn't have something going on.
Wow. So looking at this, that means we have 3 days left in the month of June that will not have a drag and drive on them.
Yep. Pretty incredible. And then I went ahead and compiled our July events so we can start talking about these. Street Week Sweden, the 4th through 11th. All-Stars Drag and Drive, July 8th through 12th. Big Sky Race Week, the 11th through 17th. Road Trip Drag It Challenge number 2, the 17th through the 19th. Pistons in the Pines, the 23rd through 25th. Heads Up Hustle, the 24th through 26th. Drop the Hammer Judgment Day, the 25th, and Miles of Mayhem, the 26th. Looking at that bottom row, there's an event that starts 4 consecutive days.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's incredible.
Yeah, one starting on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Bring it on.
So I will work on another calendar just like I did for June for July, just so that we can visually see. I think it's cool to see, how many events there are throughout the whole month and what days they overlap and how many days that we don't have events going on, which is usually pretty small.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy.
So I think we keep going back and forth. Are we at 49 or 50 events for the year?
Well, so we're at 49 because of Dave's update last week about Central Victorian Drag and Drive. So they're not hosting one this year because they're helping the track get open and going. So
gotcha. All right. So still 49 events for the year. And like always, you can find all of those events at dragdriverepeat.com/events. That is going to give you the interactive map and the listing of all the events.
Sweet.
All right. And again, big shout out to Driven for the event section there. DDR10, again, gets you that 10% discount. Anything Driven Racing Oil. Well, I will hit the J-Wire ad and we'll jump into this and we'll talk about some of the results from those events.
What's up, guys? My name is Cole from Fort Worth, Texas. Expert car and marine wiring solutions that you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, hell, even your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience way better, like their blinker module that is just a must for all drag and drive cars. This module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. Find all the details at jwiresolutions.com.
Big shout out to J-Wire. I had to call him yesterday. I'm putting one of his, I guess, block-off units in there for the water pump, putting it in there before I make my trip to the Great American Detour.
Ah, awesome. Got one in the water pump already for the Mustang.
Nice.
All right. Well, we are going to talk first about Street Weekend UK winners. And if you want, we'll just alternate through these. The first one here, quickest overall, was Roger Nilsson. Man, that's like an old school pro mod looking right there.
Dude, I dig it.
Yeah. To see that thing cruising down the streets is pretty sweet.
Especially in the UK.
Yep. And then second for that class was Rob Carter, and third was Phil Drewitt. Nice.
So I guess they probably run this similar to some of the SICK events in that they run like a quickest, in this case, quickest turbo. First, Roger Nilsson, of course, who you're just talking about. Second, Rob Carter. And third, Lee Wellen.
Yep. So that was the Turbo Smart quickest turbo. Then we've got quickest diesel. First place here, Michael Hollis. Second place was Matt Henty. And third place, I apologize, I don't even know where to start to pronounce this name.
God, dude, Kajus first name. And then there's too many letters in that last name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bagnonavicius.
Yep.
Cool. You're that guy. That's awesome. Congratulations for third place. Quickest H pattern stick shift, Mr. Adam Pope takes that win. Second up, Carl Monks, and then Jamie Whitaker rounding out the top three.
Yep. Then we have quickest Japanese. First place in this one was Michael Yazjik, is what we're going to go with.
Cool.
Second place was Tom Brittenden, and then third place is Craig Ruthenwaite.
Nice. I like it. How about the coolest car winner? Nope.
Yeah, there's no pictures for these ones.
Oh man, you gotta put those up. Promoters, come on. Roger Nilsson taking that one. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. Yep. With the Thunderbird Pro Mod.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit of Street Weekend winner. I want to reach out and get this story about this, but Adam Sindri was the winner of that one.
Oh, that's awesome. And then most creative photo winner was Reese Griffiths.
Yep. Quickest reaction time at Melbourne was Mark Goodwin.
Cool. And then quickest American super stock car. I don't know. We got to find out what that means too. Mr. Tyler Smith.
Yeah. So congratulations to those winners at Street Weekend UK.
Sweet. And then the Street Car Challenge, dude. This is another one on my list for 2027.
Yeah, for sure. Want to give a shout out. Photos here by Dual State Media and Trackside and Trail Media. I took these from those guys as we were going through here. So the first one here is the Run What You Brung. That was Clyde Carlson and that good looking yellow Nova there.
Mm-hmm. I think he won this last year.
Oh, really?
I think so. Great looking car. Great running car, too. Up next is Modern Mayhem, which is Matt Colvin winning that one. Runner-up, Benjamin Hartwig.
Yeah. I think Matt's going to be at Six Summer as well.
Sweet.
Then we got Tailgate, David Jenkins. Runner-up, Jason Long. I figured you'd like that old truck over there.
I'm a fan. It's got just the right amount of patina.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Up next is stick shift class. Chris Sanderson taking the win in that one. Runner up, Brad Alexander.
And then, yep. The next one's a fun one. The Cash for Clunkers, kind of like our cheap car challenge deal. Richard Campbell for the winner there, and runner up Haley Webb.
Nice. Richard couldn't have had a cheap car. Look at all that. Look at all them decals on that thing.
Right? Extra horsepower.
Yeah, right. And then dial your own DYO, Mr. James Henson winning that one. Runner up, Chris Sanderson, who also won stick shift.
Yeah, pretty wild. It took me a minute to find the photo of the winner for this one. To be honest, I wasn't looking for an Explorer.
Right?
So
You see that? Like that looks like normal traffic.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool that I wish they had more of the results so we could have seen what the spread was on that. But yeah, pretty cool. And then the last class here, True Street, Todd Aaron was the winner of that, and runner-up Nate McCutcheon.
Heck yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. This is the tracks they have down there look good. This is a national level event, 4 days of racing. So pretty cool to see all the fun stuff that goes on down there. And I think now maybe he did send me a spreadsheet. It's been pretty crazy the last couple of days here at the house. So I'll look and see if he did, we'll dig in a little bit on Saturday morning's news.
Perfect.
Yeah. Again, big shout out to J Wire Solutions. You can wire and plumb your hot rod, do all that kind of cool stuff, but then also has a ton of parts available as well. Eric says it all the time, but the work tray that goes on top of the Holly intakes, man, that's something we definitely need for the Mustang.
Yeah, once the car is put together and ready, that's going to be definitely going to order that.
Yeah, you can find everything jwiresolutions.com. Let's move into Molly Motorsports here. I'll hit the ad read and then we'll bring in our guests.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together. So all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
Sweet. Big shout out to Molly and the team up there. Eric's running Molly pistons in his car. We need that. We need you to put those on there. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put guesses on them. We're going to engrave our names in each one. We need 8 people. We're going to see which ones let go. Because at some point we're going to do something wrong, I'm sure.
Yep. Only thing I'm waiting on is bearings. That's what I need. And then I will begin assembling. So got to get cam bearings, rod bearings, and main bearings.
That's awesome. Well, it looks like the Diehl Brothers were in their shop, but they're not set up yet. So we're going to start with Mr. Derek Putnam, the voice of Sick the Magazine and Braggin Rights. Nate Prater, I know you're going to be watching that. He scolded us, man. He said, Duke does more than just announce it Sick. He said, man, he announces it Braggin Rights and other fun places. So tell us about that, dude.
Oh, dude, that's been a whole lot of fun being able to announce for Nate since he started. I got randomly picked to do that deal, so I got to see him from the come up, and he is probably in my opinion, one of the best up and coming promoters. He puts a lot of energy and effort into his stuff, and it was an honor to be able to work with him and with the gang at Streetcar Takeover for Speedfest.
Yeah, that's really exciting, and that's what you're on here tonight to talk about. Eric, will you message the Diehl Brothers and let them know we're ready for them? They may be, I'm sure they're working on stuff, getting ready for
Nick, and let them know, like, hey, dude, I know you're always busy, but stop.
Yeah, those guys are, man, they are slammed all the time. They were on a few weeks ago, so we appreciate them kind of telling some backstory and getting into all of that stuff. So if you guys haven't seen that, go look at it, do all that stuff over there. Because we're going to talk about like Speedfest and Six Summer and all that kind of stuff tonight. So I really want to start with Speedfest. You guys made this announcement at PRI 2025. It's a collaboration with Braggin Rights and Streetcar Takeover, the baddest street cars in the U.S. all in one place. So I'm kind of excited to hear about all of that.
You're funny, Devin Vanderhoof.
Yeah.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Whenever anybody asks what I'm doing, I said I'm talking too much when I'm going to Six Summer.
I listened to Devin Vanderhoof's and Matt Happel's like 5-hour live stream on my trip up to Great Bend the other day. That was back from December. We need another one, Devin. We need another one.
Yeah, if you get Devin wound up and he starts talking on podcasts, or you get him on the right subject, he's good to listen to. That guy has a treasure trove of information.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Well, if the Diehl Brothers are ready, can they give us a thumbs up? Well, Chris said we're ready. Currently dealing with wiring. Not you guys.
They can't leave anything alone over there. They constantly got to be working on stuff. But
right.
Speaking of, see,
kind of ready. Thumbs up.
He said we're kind of ready.
like Phoenix's hood, I think. No, actually, no.
That looks like Chris.
That's on hinges. No.
Can you hear us? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Testing.
Say something, Dave.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
I'm here.
Hi, Nick.
We appreciate you guys doing this. We know you're thrashing to get ready for Sick Summer and your dominance to continue.
With a single element.
What are y'all working on right now?
Everything junk. We are currently, there's our drag and drive trailer we were trying to put together.
Nice.
We're not using a motorcycle trailer no more. So trying to outfit this thing out so we're actually can be strategic and have all the cool things like everybody else.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then, like I said, Chris Mary's car is here. We're trying to wire it so it passes tech because his lights don't work. Well, some of his lights don't work. Dave's just walk around looking pretty much.
Nice. So,
I can't hear worth enough. I can't hear him either. I don't know why it's so quiet.
Will Chris's car be at Sick Summer then?
Yep. Yeah. Is there a volume setting, my friend, on this?
I don't know.
Microphone.
You tune a car on your phone.
Do what?
Same way that you tune a car, push the up arrow.
Yeah, well, it's all the way up.
Okay.
Oh, weird. Huh.
Dave might have. Well, it just doesn't go on speakers. What it is? Oh, it's not on speaker. Here, maybe I'll use this other phone for sound. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Oh, I mean, I got to do something. We got to be able to hear.
Yeah.
It's hot in here, just so you guys know. Very
nice.
It was 91 in the shop earlier. We had a storm roll through it, knocked it down to 84.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
How big of a delay is it on the Drag Driver Pete on Facebook?
Just go into the same guest link. Won't put it on.
He's gonna go get the laptop. Here, Chris.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Cool.
Anyway, we'll just stand really close and listen really good.
Well, we're talking about Speedfest first.
Yep.
Total domination from you guys up there. Or do y'all want to just y'all do your thing? Let's get the computer set up so you can hear, and then we'll talk to Derek about the other racers that were there. And then
there's other racers there.
They didn't win any trophies if they were, but
there was. I mean, I'm just being funny now. Yeah, wasn't a complete we had two cars that didn't. We had two cars that didn't win. We had two that did.
Yeah, hey, I'll take that 50%.
And something that is completely unlike Nick. I mean, that's probably the best story of the whole thing.
Yeah, he said, "What? I'm okay with losing two classes."
No,
I wasn't okay with that.
I'll let you guys tell the story, and in case Nick has selective memory,
here we go. I knew Derek. I saw I didn't even know about the video. I finally saw the video 4 days later. I'm like, oh my god, that's great.
Yeah. So I'll save that, and if you guys want to talk about the other classes, we can go over those.
All right. Sweet. Oh, he's getting the laptop, he said? Yeah, he's getting the laptop. So
yeah. Mike, is that okay? You want me to talk about the other stuff?
Yeah, let's do that. Guys, I'm going to put you backstage. Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Yep, thanks. Sweet. Yeah,
all right.
Tell us what's going on.
Oh, and perfect, considering that Jeremy Ortiz comes on right about now. So, like you said, we basically, just a quick recap. So basically, Tom got together with Nate Prater from Braggin Rights and his event, which is called Streetcar Braggin Rights, and Shay Slotback from Streetcar Takeover, and basically said, hey, if we bring everybody together, we give everybody their chance to do 100 racers each maximum of your own selected categories. That way there's a little bit of flavor for everybody. And Beach Bend Raceway Park and Bowling Green is a great place to have this. We were there last year for Sick on the Green. It's an awesome facility. The only bad part that came out of it was the weather forecast was really not all that good. They canceled the NHRA 4-day event the weekend before it. We decided to say, screw the weatherman and do it anyway. Yeah, and managed to get it in.
Street cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, we always bring that flavor, but you know how it is. So, but it was great to see the turnout. It was great to see the spectators. So let me talk about a little bit of everything here. We'll save the nibbles for the Diehl Brothers and talk about how great of a weekend they had. So Sick the Magazine had 3 classes. We had a brand new class that was discovered/discussed called 6 Sevens. The Deals will talk about that. The second one we did was an 850 shootout called Sick 850 Shootout. Now, the difference was Tom's throwing $5,000 to a winner here. So he says, let's add a little something. So not only do you have to qualify, quote unquote, have a top 10 average out of the factor, that gets you into Saturday night, and you get to make one shot only, and best average or best single pass to that average, either to that number, either 750 or 850, depending on the class you're in, get you $5,000 in a Sick Orange helmet. You want to talk about pressure? One class was a thou, one class was 7 thou that separated the top 2 people.
Oh my gosh. So hang on, back me up here. So 10 cars qualify.
Correct. So
okay.
Originally
those 10 make one hit at the
right.
Wow.
Yep. So, and here's the benefit. The higher you qualify, the better your average is, the later in the round you go. So like, say if you're the number one qualifier in 850, which was an 852, you could sit there and watch what everybody in front of you is doing. So if everybody breaks out and goes under, or everybody is way slow, you can play it safe if you wanted to, but you don't know what the guy next to you or the girl next to you is going to run. So it makes it interesting. Again, it's a new flavor. Not only that, we tried out a 750 base category for an SFI 25.5 cage, which was great to see some people supporting that. And then DYO, as always, Dial Your Own was off the chain. We had over 50 entries for that. Glad to see them show up in force. We got to see some first timers on the top 5 list there.
Nice.
So the Drag and Drive community got some new blood into it from this event. And you talk about it a bunch. 2 to 4 day events means so much to get people into our world. And and
listen, I've said it. This setup that y'all did is genius, because it now gives you the opportunity. And there's probably some crossover. I mean, like we see like Jeremy Ortiz or Chris Mary run the Little Gangsters over on Streetcar Takeover. But like all of those people that do that stuff now get the chance to get introduced to Sick the Magazine and the Sick Crew and all that kind of stuff. And just a lot of drag and drive racers mingling with a lot of other streetcar people, you know. And I do that in air quotes because sometimes streetcars are town cars. You know, now those guys will put bigger radiators in them. Maybe they'll do a dual fuel setup and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. So let me tell you about DYO. This is the class where everybody says, hey, how about throwing some stuff our way? So Tom decides to go a little bit better in DYO, and instead of just the top person getting paid, top 5 get $1,000 each. The number 1 gets the helmet in addition. And if you place top 5 or top 10 on spread, which is what DYO is all about, you get early entry into Sick Week 2027, which is what everybody wants. So
that is so cool, man.
Yep. And it was tough. So coming into Saturday, we did not start the first shot until 7:30 at night. It rained that much off and on. Wow. And the Sick Prep crew and Beach Bend Raceway Park crew never gave up. They just kept going after it. And we sent the jet cars down to give the crowd what they wanted to get racing started at 7:32 at night. It was like, okay, well, we're going to run into the night and they don't have a curfew. Let's do this. And then there's a top fuel car there. I mean, we did a little bit of everything. So
that's awesome. So how was DYO set up?
So the way that we did this was similar to how we did it last year. It's the same for all 3 classes that we run. You have to turn in 1 time slip from Friday, 1 time slip from Saturday, and then a 3rd from either day. Now, because Friday worked pretty much flawlessly, except for a little bit of drizzle we had at the very end of the day where we had to stop early. We managed to get 4 full sessions in on Friday. So everybody had a chance to get after it. Yeah. Saturday, because of the weather, 850 and 750 got cut back to 1 only, but because of the weather, we had enough to where everybody made it into the shootout unless you just didn't make a pass. Yeah. And then DYO, we managed to get them 2. So it wasn't like they were locked into doing it.
Oh, sweet.
So this is how good it is, though. Going into Saturday, we had 4 people that had runs a thou apart.
Oh, my God. Wow.
So now it's how good do you do with a whole new set of weather conditions? Jonathan Montesino was one of them. He was the guy that won Sick Week in his daughter's 97 model Cobra. He throws down 20 total Not bad for a track he's never been to and a car that's running 0.3 slower than it did at Sick Week. That was only good enough for number 4.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's insane.
Yep. So
that is insane.
So he finishes 4th. A guy by the name of Randall Core in a Fairmont finished 5th with a 23,000 spread. Brian Bench finished 3rd with a 20,000 spread in a 2016 Camaro, and that guy's done a whole bunch of stuff. I've seen him at NMCA, LSS shootouts, all so forth. First timer, Nick Levi, him and his family, 2 sons and his brother and their kids all come out, 3 stick shift cars. His is one of them, an 04 GTO, his first drag and drive ever, and he finishes number 2 with a 16 bow average.
In a stick shift spread. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So number 1, a guy by the name of Josh Opperman drove a 10-second GMC full-size pickup truck down from Michigan and ran between 10:16 with a 3 and 10:17 with a 7 to score the overall victory.
That's crazy. Wow. Dude, that's awesome.
Yep.
Fun grouping.
So that was DYO. And just so you know, top 16 cars were 600s or less on spreads.
Jeez.
That's pretty good for only getting 2 shots on Saturday, and you got to turn in one of those.
Yeah. Wow. So, I love that setup, you know, because man, it's always hard to, in our opinion, that's why we do 2 passes at the circuit for a day. Because with 1 pass, you know, you can have a hero pass every day, you know, but 5 days of driving is the hard part there. But like a weekend deal, you almost have 2 where you got to do something 2 a day. I love that setup. That's really cool.
Yep. So then on the 850 category, the SICK 850 shootout, you've got a lot of people that we're familiar with: Blaine Thiessen, Jeremy Ortiz, Cameron Alley. I mean, there's Chris Mary. There's a whole bunch of people in here that are established in 850 based classes. There were only 2 people that ran 8.50 something. So they qualified near the top. Jeremy Ortiz was 1. Blaine Thiessen with the Isuzu pickup truck was the other. The absolute heartbreak was the first pair in the shootout. Gabby Luan, who's a past Sick Week winner, goes 8:49.5.
Oh, man.
And it's like, I hate saying it.
Golly.
Yep.
Wow.
So Jeremy Ortiz, a guy who has been top 3 at Sick Summer and always felt short, goes 8:52.1. Thiessen gets the last shot at the racetrack and goes 8:52.8 to come up second.
Wow.
So Ortiz on his 4th shot gets his first helmet.
Wow. How cool, man.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. And I hope he takes that and just runs it right into Sick Summer and takes that 850 deal home.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I've got lots. So
yeah. He's going to have his hands full. Let's check back in with the Diehl Brothers real quick. See. Can you, is that better audio wise? Yeah. Chris Mary.
Come in, Chris Mary.
Can you hear us?
I'll be right with you.
I can kind of hear you. I'm working on another computer real quick.
Nice. Okay, we're going to put you backstage. Just tell them whenever they're ready, we're ready.
Cool.
Awesome.
They ain't stopping for nothing, man. They got 3 cars to take. Yeah, Mary's, Harley, and Phoenix. So, all right, let me jump into Braggin Rights real quick.
Okay.
So, Braggin Rights, that's Nate Prater's deal. One of his biggest classes and what he started out with is the street car shootout, and he had 2 qualified categories. And both of them had lots of drag and drive people in them. The fast one was Tyree Smith, an engine builder out of Tennessee, over a guy that we all know, Frank Webb, with the beautiful dark red Fairmont Futura. And both of those cars ran in the 7.0s to get to the final.
On the low.
And Tyree Smith goes 695 at an off the gas early 190 miles an hour, little small tire 3rd gen Camaro to get the win. So small tire or slow one of that, which was like an 880, 890 class, was Derek Downing over Wayne Russell. His wife, Lori Russell, ran Sick Week with the all-white GMC Sierra pickup truck. She did her first drag and drive. He couldn't make it, so he ran as a spectator, and it was an all Cadillac 8-second final. So pretty cool there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. And then the Braggin Rights stick shift category. Good to see you, Dave. The stick shift category was a barn burner. A couple of 6-second cars in the final. John Rogers over Josh Manning, the 8-cylinder Nissan 240, the first car to ever get that controversial Liberty all billet stick shift H pattern transmission. And Josh Manning, the guy who is number 3 right now on the stick shift elite H pattern list, 656 is as quick as he's been with that car.
Jeez.
And so it was a good one. So that's the 3 classes for Braggin Rights and Nate Prater. And I don't know, I know you saw it, but just to slide this in there, Nate is going to do the stick shift world championship sometime coming soon. And I saw you ask the same question that I did, and I work for the guy every now and then, and I don't even know. He hasn't told me a place, he hasn't told me a date, he hasn't told me what he's doing.
All I asked, I sent him a message. Eric's on it. I said, just want to know when you're going to release it. Any information you're willing to give us, we're going to take it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Nate's mind is like that, though. It is always spinning, and that's what's great about working for him. But all right, now we got the Diehl Brothers back on. We can talk about their class wins because we got one from Sick the Mag, and then we could start going into the Streetcar Takeover stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Little Gangsters class.
He's on again.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. So obviously we come out there to win 4 classes because we come out there to win everything always. We knew the other cars. Chris literally just getting out with his car, making runs. They're good. I mean, well, Ortiz won a 52 to win it.
Yep.
And Chris won a 55. I mean,
wow,
not far off. I mean, prospectively,
12 passes on the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, what, 10 passes on the car? You say 12? Yeah, wow.
12. I think total when his last pass was his 12th pass on the car.
Oh, my gosh.
So when we go down to 6 summer, though, now we feel he let out the 55. He let out early because it was dew coming through the track, and he was getting a little squirrely.
It's getting pretty sketchy.
But he let out a little early on that 52. Had he had a little more seat time in the car and stayed in it, it would have been close to it would have been that 52, or it might
have been a win, kind of like our class was.
It would have been a close one for sure. But
wow,
man,
what ifs, right?
I know. Right. It was crazy. So we made our final pass and stuff. Obviously, obviously this guy didn't even know we won. I didn't know we won because I was down there. I'm terrible with names. The green duster, right?
I don't know the name.
Craig Douglas.
Douglas.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So obviously, pretty much all of us that made them passes were down there at the end and stuff like that. And we're all like, "Oh, what'd you run? Oh, what'd you run?" I didn't know what we ran. He's like, "I went a 54," and I'm like, "Oh, hell, you probably won it because none of us have really been that close. So you probably got it, man. That's pretty awesome. Heck yeah." And then I go up there and get my time slip, and I'm like, "Well, hell, I won a 54." Like, yes. I wonder what his 54 was. But I still didn't know. I didn't know if I'd won or anything. Not. And then I'm driving back to the pits, and then my nephew and everybody come over running. My son, everybody running over there. You won, Dad! Woo! So I was like, "Oh, sweet, hell yeah!" And then I think about that time finally when Nick figured it out.
Yeah, I was late. I was late to the party. Yeah, I was upset. I was honestly upset because I worked really hard at trying to make sure when we run index that we run the number. Like our 530 car runs 530, and the one of the men in this room here know that other than us because he gets to see it. Like that car print slips. It doesn't matter temperature. It doesn't matter track. It just does the same number, and that's what I want out of our car if we run a 750 class, or his car if he runs 850 class. Like, yeah. And so I strive for that. That's what makes it like I'd rather drive if I wasn't going to try to do that. That's the only reason I don't drive is because I think it's tough to do that stuff, and I like the challenge. So I was a little upset. So I walked away kind of with a 54. I was upset. But what a lot of people don't know, and I told Derek about it later on, is that we had a corrupt file. So after all that work, getting close, getting a 58 and getting an idea, we lost everything in our tune. So I had to we had like 20 minutes to throw. I was like, I had to throw something together. And obviously I have an idea what I was doing, but it's not the same. You lose your curve that you had, your drive shaft, all this stuff that you had before is gone now. So now you're like kind of guessing. And that's kind of what I did. And he was on traction control pretty bad out the back. Same thing. And it wasn't the rain. I think they did an excellent job. Like Derek said, they busted their butt. The day before, without the rain, at the end of the track, towards later in the evening, it was doing the same thing. It was on our dry shaft. You could see the dry shaft rippling a little bit. I think it's just that when the transition happens out there, there's a different surface and the dew sets in, and we're in a valley, like whatever it was.
Yeah.
Our car, we run a pretty tight curve in it. So Dave drove through it because he's got seat time, as you guys know. But he'd come back and he would tell me, and you could see it like clearly that it was knocking timing out and trying to keep the tire happy. So when you look at that 54 pass, if you go put it back together and you get that timing back where it was trying to lose the tire, it's going to be a lot closer. And same thing with Chris.
Not that we ever run index. Like, obviously, we'll be coming into Six Summer coming up, and we'll be doing the races before. But we were running 2 classes there. It'd be anywhere from a 430 to a 445.
430 to 445
8 mile. And then we'll be running that class like we did last year before Six Summer. And then we were running the other class, which is 470 to 490 or something like that.
470, 495. So it's like drawn out of the hat. So the day before Six Summer, they run a race at Byron. And every year, well, 2 years in a, I'll say every year, 2 years in a row at that track, we have won the street race and almost won the 435 class the day before Sick Week. Well, it helps fund the trip then, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So we're hoping to go do at least one of the 2 classes. I want to win both, but if we could win one of those before the week starts, it'd help pay the hotels. So,
well, one thing that is interesting to me is that car is it's much faster than 750. So, on the last time you guys were on, you were kind of talking about this 750 index and how you thought that would be a big class and something that could work because there's a lot of guys in that mix, and you're 100% right. How do you turn that car down enough to make you do that?
It was actually tougher. And believe it or not, what was even tougher than our car, and I know this is going to sound crazy, was that one. Like, I got to the point where I was taking boost out of it and it would not go slower. I had to start knocking timing out like a lot.
Wow.
Like he's on 12 pounds of dome.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't take. Like, and Chris comes back, he's like, I don't know where. And Chris wants us to go faster up front because he don't like going out fast out the back. And I'm like, this track is going to be sketchy here and there. We don't know what we're going to get with the weather and the temperature. So I'd rather go a 130, 60 foot. Actually, all cars, the blue car, the white car, and our orange
Even
car.
our orange car, I was going 130.
I ran every car at 136, 60 foot because I know that'll go down a dirt road. So you never seen any of our cars spin because of that. Even the truck, we ran it at a 131, 132, 60 foot. Other than that, they were all 130s. And I just knew they would all go. But what was crazy is like our first couple of passes is like what, a 740, a 7, and we didn't have nothing in the car. Like, I'm like, wow, what are we going to do here? Because that's pretty slow. We don't have nothing in. There's 5 degrees of timing out of the whole timing table. We are at the point where if I take dome out, it's really not going to go much slower because at a certain point, your turbos just overrun to the gates, right? So we found a happy spot, obviously. And then, with timing and some other tricks and this and that, we were able to do it. But yeah, it's pretty tough. But it was a fun class. And I think, to be honest with you, I told you guys it was my idea a year and a half, 2 years ago. I talked to Tom about this class because we had guys complaining that when we got in Super Street, there was a lot of cars in Super Street when we first started in it. And we weren't one of the fast ones. Let's put it how it was. You had the guys, Regal from 10 Soldiers. You had Kevin from KSR and all them guys, but they're all limited also to a 750 because of their cage cert. But that's what the class kind of was a 750 class. Well, then you got guys like us and Richard Flint and Doug Cook. Really, that's the main 3 really that fit that class. And like all of us are, we're out for blood. We're all trying to go as fast. We're trying to go as fast as the ultimate car, the unlimited cars in that class. And it ruined it. I'll be the first to say it literally ruined the class because as you guys, some of you guys might know, our car, we ran it at like 690s all last Six Summer.
Yeah, we ran 690s. So 37 pounds of boost.
Yep. 34 to 37, depending on the air. On an engine, we were
that same tune-up went 683s
the next week or
out at drag week. That same tune-up went a 683.
Wow.
Yep. So our car is here's the kind of what tells you we run a 450 something 60 458
pretty much every time
is what we target. We don't even worry about what it's going to do in the quarter, even on drag and drive. So what's funny is we've been 430s. So you take 2/10 off the 8th, you figure out what it runs out the back. And so we've been 670s in the car letting out at the 8th and the shoots out early.
Jeez.
So we had, and that's what the Dart engine and 200 to 300 pounds heavier. We're still figuring this SML out. It has a ton of power. We don't know what it wants.
My tuner just is struggling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly,
it's always a tuner.
It's always, dude. It is what it is. But I threatened to delete all the tunes the other day. Going, all of a sudden, it seemed like the room went silent. I said, I'll delete all. Somebody else start over. And all of a sudden, they were nice.
I must not have been in the room.
He ain't starting over. But the SML is just because it's solid roller. Our converter isn't as happy with it right now, probably because I'm being too ginger with it.
Yeah, this engine doesn't make the same torque our other one did. It's designed to make horsepower up high. Our other one really, I mean, it made its peak power around what, 6,700 or so.
We ran 8,500, but I'm saying peak. The VE showed about 73, 74.
Yeah, so this one's making power a lot higher. There's a lot less torque. Things just aren't as happy. We're playing with these big injectors, instead of before we used to run 16, 210s. It was pretty easy to tune it. Now we got these big, huge single 720s, and they're just, you add 1% of fuel and it's like, holy cow, you're off in the other field somewhere now all of a sudden. And it's like,
well, they're just not, it's not even that. Yeah, I was about to say, it's the balance hold. When you get anything, and I didn't know this because we always ran high impedance and multiples and lots of injectors. But when you get a big single injector, especially on a smaller cubic inch engine, now mind you, a lot of guys don't realize we're only 400 cubic inch. So we're a small engine compared to most, right? When you run an 820 or 720 pound an hour injector with a 100-pound base, it just like hole to hole is not as easy. So we've been working on it. Actually, we ordered Gen 2s. We got some new injectors. So here we are starting over again.
Yeah, brand new set of injectors just went in it today.
Yeah, so now all my individual trims that I kind of had figured out now from our last outing, which we went 450s 3 times in a row and went fast. We went a 59, a 56, and a 50, pretty much with the same tune-up, just cleaning up stuff. Yeah. So and that's all we got to do. I mean, I'll say that we're in modified now. And modified seems to be looking through the history. You'll get guys that go fast in that class every now and then. Then you get I think last year the fastest guy was 7 something. So it's kind of
our class in Super Street was.
So, but our end goal, and it's going to be tough this time, guys, is to be top 3 again. After you get a guitar once, you kind of don't even want to go to an event without getting a guitar. So, and here's the bad thing.
Hey, that's big time. Because there's some hitters coming.
Big hitters? Well,
yeah, you got Devin.
Yep, you got Devin. You got
Nick Goldstone.
I imagine Nick Taylor's going to be there, right?
I haven't heard yet. That'd be awesome.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked to see if Nick Taylor's going to be there. Obviously, he's been getting pretty fast in his car now.
Not coming.
Not coming.
Not according to the info I have.
Okay.
What info do you have, Derek?
Spill the beans, buddy.
Got Alex Taylor's going to be there.
Do we want to skip to this list now?
Yeah. I did hear that. Hang on. If we're going to switch topics to Six Summer, I want to do an ad read real quick and move because I want to have it all together.
Okay? We're on, or we can move on to Six Summer. I don't care.
I already switched. It sounds like.
Well, before we switch,
do you want to finish out the Streetcar Takeover since we didn't talk about Harley winning Little Gangsters?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. So let's finish that up real quick. So talk about the fact that Harley, for his second, I think, or third shot behind the wheel of the blue Mustang, which ironically Dave debuted in 2022 at the original Sick Week. Yep. And then Mary drove it after it caught on fire.
Oh, he caught it on fire, not after it caught on fire. He caught it on fire.
Driver.
Right, but it wasn't at Six Summer. That's what I meant.
It was the day before.
A couple days before.
It was the day before. It doesn't count. Not ours. But he scored his first helmet and a perfect 850 along the way in that car. And so Harley jumps in that car with very little time behind the wheel. And after a 4th round exit, I think, at Streetcar Braggin Rights, ends up running the table in the Streetcar Takeover Little Gangsters class for the W at Beachbound.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool to see.
Then the others,
pretty good. He cuts a tree, man. He does really good on the tree in that car. Impressively well.
Well, he comes from a foot brake. He always in his DSM, he's on a foot brake. When he went to a trans brake with a was like, are you kidding me? It took him a second to process it. And that's why I've had our YouTube channel, we have people ask all the time, why don't you just drive the car, Nick? Well, a lot of people don't know. I drove the car for a long time. I used to drive it home, back and forth to work and everything. We drove the car like a regular car. And it was actually Dave that kind of fired me from driving. And he's right. So when I say this, it's
at Street Outlaws.
Yeah, we were racing for Street Outlaws on the TV show, and we were running both cars, and I was trying to tune both cars. And
he was trying to drive the one, tune both, and stuff like that. And
and they pretty much said either we can go win races and be better because we're focused on one car, or we can run 2 cars and never win. And I didn't like the idea of never win.
You were like, fine.
We retired. Well, and he wasn't wrong. Like the amount of focus it takes to really try to be like to have time to look over. Like they leave me alone now. It used to be everybody be trying to talk to me. Like I go sit in my truck when we're at events and put the laptop. Especially I have 4 laptops at the last 2 events, and I'll go to this one, do all my stuff, put the tune-up set on a dash, go to the next one, and like it's an hour getting the next round tune-ups ready for 4 cars. And the same thing, we're going down here. Not only we got 4 cars, but obviously we've been helping Steve Morris with his car. So I'm helping with the radio tune-ups and the radio suspension on that. Like I don't know if you watched his last video, but when he got to the testing, I walked over and grabbed the laptop from him, and he give him props. It's probably hard for him because it's his car. So, but I grabbed the laptop, put a tune-up in it. I said, just trust it. And I got to give it to him because I wouldn't be able to do it. But he trusted it. He went out and like awesome pass, and he come back super pumped. But I did the same thing. Matter of fact, the pass that he ran at Turn and Burn, I grabbed the laptop, put a tune-up in it, and that was the fastest pass. That was his 4th pass, and he went 650 or 660.
Yeah, 660.
But also
or something.
Yeah, that way, and it was like his 4th pass on the radio. So, but it's new. All this is new to him because he was off the big tire. So I'm helping him. Yeah. Obviously, he knows how to tune stuff and all that. But I understand how we're going to try to hit the converter and how we're going to hit the tire and control all this stuff. So it's been cool working with him. So I think summer though, because we probably have to race against him. I don't know if we can. We might have to not do the lap.
I was going to say, if he's winning, the good thing is I know his tuner.
Sorry, Steve.
He's going to hold the tunes hostage.
Yeah, this is going to be a really close race. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember last year it was down to me and Steve for second and third. Because we could almost we probably could have went back for another pass, try to go faster. Because like I said, we hadn't had it turned up. We tried to get more aero. I don't know if you guys remember. We put a whole bunch of duct tape on it, trying to get a little more aero out of it instead of putting more power in it. Just because the car was on that, like at that point, I think we had 100 and some odd passes on that engine without even pulling the belt cover off. So, and it's still it's got hundreds of passes on aluminum rods and the same bearings and all stuff. So turning it up, we could, but we didn't want to.
So back to what we were talking about, because we always veer off subject. Yeah, Harley's been killing it on that, man, killing it on the tree. He'll be racing 530 stuff again coming up in a couple days, right before
nice.
6 summer at that MK. Is it MKE, right?
Yep,
MKE event. Yep. So he'll be running 530s at that one, and then I already informed Brandon Miller that we're going to go ahead and put him on the trailer.
Nice.
Because he just called me a little bit ago. And then
he's got a big block. Why is he playing 530 anyways?
He's got that big block in that car. He's like 4,200 pounds though.
I know. I'm just picking on him.
But
he's probably listening. He's probably cussing us right now. It's going to pop up on here. Y'all little crap.
Then we're as soon as we get done with that race, we're putting 26s on that car.
Oh yeah, that was the other part that's kind of cool going into the Harley thing, because we're talking about the blue car. Is I've been wanting to do Rowdy Radio for, if you guys couldn't tell, I think I've talked to all of you guys about it, but I was going to do it on the orange car. I felt like the orange car, we could yank a bunch of weight out of that thing, and Dave's a driver, I can put him in it and know that he's going to drive the car. And I feel like we could go real. I think we could reset the record on the 26.
Keep it under 200.
Yeah, he doesn't like going. So the 8th mile he loves better anyway. So so he would rather go 8. So I was going to do it on the orange car. If we go win modified, I'll be able to tell you, 6 summer or 6 week, we're probably coming on 26.
Let's go.
Because
let's go.
The whole idea is to try. Has anybody won a helmet in 3 different classes?
Oh wow!
And if they haven't, we're coming for it. We're gonna try.
I might slow it down and go 850.
I don't know that we can do that.
Run it to half track and get out of the gas, for crying out loud.
You got to time it and get out at the right time every time. That's
tough. You to make
at 372 feet, you need to let out.
Yeah, hope the bearings.
Well, the good news is in our tune file, he can go in and just have it dump the boost at a certain point.
I can shut the motor pretty much down to idle if I want.
Oh,
but no,
awesome.
so the 26 class intrigues me. The car isn't set up for it. We're not going to put the long travel on the front or add a bunch of weight. We're going to try to make it work just like it does right now. And just see if we can we're going to slow so Harley, I just went through the logs, and Harley's been a 505 racing against, actually the better half Camaro next to Kyle, messing around, just playing around one night. So he's been a 505 on the car. It was SCT, I think. And so he's been a 5. So, and that's what I'm going to target for him first, is get him into 5s. Make sure, and that's in testing. And then once we see that the car is looking good. I'm gonna try to get him like a 470, 480 pass.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Depending on where everybody else is at, we want to win it. So if everybody's running faster, he's just gonna have to buckle up and deal with it.
Get all on. Okay, hang on. We're gonna move to Six Summer conversations now. So big shout out to Molly. Thanks to them for what they do for us here at Drag Driver Pete. We're gonna skip this up. Let's go into some Deech Works and play here, and then we will move on to the next one.
From street miles to track passes, your fuel system has one job: perform when it matters most. At Deech Works, we engineer high-performance fuel systems built for the demands of drag and drives. From injectors and fuel pumps to filters and regulators, every component is engineered to be reliable and consistent under real-world conditions. Whether you're chasing a personal best or driving hundreds of miles between tracks, Deech Works delivers the fuel system your build requires.
Familiar.
Big shout out to the Deech Works team. Have a DW400 in the back of the truck now. Thing was flawless the whole time. We went through 2 fuel pumps right before the circuit in the truck, so it was important that made it, on the trip. So, all right, let's talk Six Summer, bro, because it's coming up. You guys have kind of mentioned it a little bit. Give us a rundown of what cars you're bringing.
Oh, we're bringing. Oh God, dude, we're idiots. So we got the blue car we call the media guy. We got Snow White with Chris driving. Of course, that's his car, so I hope he's driving. Of course, the orange car, the Phoenix. We also have the red and white Chevy C10 that we run DYO in. At some point, we're gonna, that truck will run 850 class is what we're planning on. But he literally started drag racing late last year, so we're kind of, and he's been 8s, but it's still, send somebody down the track like that and something that heavy without some seat time. But he's a good driver. But so we got those 4. But on top of those 4, like you said, we got Brandon and Brandon's wife that'll be in our group of guys, and we got Brian Crane coming with the stick shift car that we did the cage in. They're not exactly we're all together, like we'll all hang out together and stuff. So I mean, there's a big group. Then you got Steve and the wagon. I'm sure we'll be hanging out with him a lot because, like I said, been working with him closely back and forth
together somehow.
That's pretty much the group, I guess. With us, there's 4 cars in our immediate group, and then about 14 outside of that. So,
wow, dude, that's awesome.
I'm taller than Dave.
You guys have the, I guess, Super Street record for Six Summer, right? Yeah.
And Drag Week.
And Drag Week, that's right. Yeah, I was thinking I knew there was something else.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll
awesome.
come back to that week. The old engine sitting right over there on the stand. As soon as somebody takes down our record, we'll slap that back in. We already told Steve that the SML had to go on the shelf for a minute if somebody takes and breaks the record. And here's the thing: is
I'm expecting Richard to.
Yeah, I don't know. He can. I don't think it'll be a sick week would be his best chance. The air is better, the tracks are better. Like Six Summer is a little tougher, obviously.
6 Summer's really tough.
Yeah.
So we got AC going in our car this time. So
what? I'd be interested to see if the funny thing is we always talk about sick week being better on air, but the fact that you guys ran the first ever 6-second average in the class, and you got Chuck Stefanski coming with the wagon to run this year as well at Six Summer. Normally he's a sick week guy. So it'd be interesting if the 2 times that somebody has a 6-second average could happen both times when it's hot out in the middle of summer.
Well,
very possible.
Yeah. We were talking to somebody on here a couple weeks ago, Eric, and they're talking about that. I mean, possibly that the times could be better just because I think more people have more tuning time and seat time in these kind of conditions compared to what we do in February in Florida.
That is very true. I mean, this year, Nick and David could probably speak to it better than I can, but I'm just a bracket and index racer more than anything else. But when you see negative 2,000 feet to start on the first day, the first thing I know a lot of people are worried about is I don't have a fuel map that goes into that area. I got to worry about burning the crap up. So whereas, 2,000 feet, 3,000 feet, what we normally see in the summertime, yeah, sure. I've got tons of data for that. Or at least, like he said, I've got a better starting point. I could probably take a guess and get it pretty close.
Yeah. Whereas, I don't know if you said that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about, I think we were talking about drag week stuff though, right, Eric? Yeah. Maybe it was with Ned.
It might have been actually.
Yeah, because we were talking about his run at it and all that kind of stuff. So that brings up my next question. For the folks that are doing Six Summer and a drag week, how good is the Six Summer run going to be? Because that gives you time to figure all this stuff out because we're hitting a lot of the same tracks. Man, I'm really excited about this year. I'm excited about Six Summer. I'm excited about drag week being kind of in the same area.
Well, we didn't sign up for drag week this year. We can get in still. We had an invite after the rec type thing, but and obviously they don't really ever turn anybody away anyways. Right. But we've been racing. I don't know if you guys paid attention yet, but we've literally raced every weekend for the last month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah, King of the South, Turn and Burn, Speedfest.
So long story short, we had to drop some stuff. I know one of the events we're going to try to do is the fall Rocky Mountain Race Week because we've never done one.
Oh, sweet! Come on.
I don't know if they announced where they're at yet or not. It just depends on where the tracks are too, because we want to do it in the mountains, not out west in Texas. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, so
trailer is outfitted with trailer brakes, ready to go.
Yep.
So Race Week is typically in the Midwest. It's Great Bend, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Mocan, which is Joplin, Missouri. So you'll have some rolling hills, but it's not the mountains like what they're going in right now.
Yeah, that's the one. So we need to be in the spring one then, I guess, next year.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah. So and we tried to get in that race like 4 or 5 times and never did. So at this point we decided we'll get a hold of them and just become a sponsor. So when we're ready to do it. You get a couple cars in anyways and you sponsor it, so it ends up working out. And we always go with a group of us. So but we're looking forward to that. We've always wanted to do that race in the mountains. That's why the trailer, he said, we got the trailer, we outfitted it out with trailer brakes and everything. So we're like ready to go.
That's awesome. Well, they did a 572-mile drive day, so get ready. It's a big one.
Well, we drive like when we go down to Sick Week. We're like when everybody else stops halfway, we always go from Georgia all the way to Bradenton. Actually, we go south to Bradenton every time. I don't know how many miles that is though, but I know
it's like 7-8 hours.
Usually in the ballpark of about 350 to 375.
Yeah. So we always run that straight through. We don't ever do the halfway stop thing, just because I'd rather get there. And then like Dave's like, what are we gonna do all day? Well, I was actually was gonna rent the track and do the private rental at Bradenton the day before they were there because we had a new combo. I'm glad we didn't, because the stuff that we needed to fix would have never got fixed, and it would have just been a waste of money. But we were pretty gun ho on getting stuff figured out. And like I said, now we're just getting things worked out. So hopefully we have a good week next week.
That's awesome, dude. It's so weird to think that it's next week. Like, holy shit. This year is flying by.
Oh no, it's for us. We leave Friday morning at 4 a.m. So,
oh my gosh.
So, and we still haven't packed the trailer. We have never hooked that trailer to the truck car yet. As you can probably see, I don't know if you guys see back there. The car's on the hoist still. So we had a rear main seal that decided to start leaking. We didn't even know it was leaking until we just checked it. So that happened at the last event, nice. And it's just weird. It's sometimes you get one that leaks, and then sometimes we'll put something together and let her go 2 years and never have a leak. So, and we didn't even really ran it hard. But either way, we caught it now, so they took it apart and got that fixed today, and then put new injectors in it because, like I told you, these damn big injectors. And everybody told me that you're going to have to deal with it, and that you're going to have to do a lot of individual cylinders and this and that. And I'll tell you what, they weren't lying, because like up to like 18 pounds, everything's pretty close. And then after that, it just starts getting it. It just seems like I don't know. But we had the old Gen Fuel Tech injectors, and now we got the Gen 2, which is supposed to be a big upgrade. I'm hoping that when we fire it out and do our first pass, because I'll be honest with you, the first pass that's in the car right now is a 435 pass when we get down to Byron. So we're going to throw that one in first. And then, hey, if that, and that's on a 28, and obviously, we put a 29.10.5 on when we do Sick Week, or Sick Summer. The cool thing is I changed the data on the dry shaft, and the tire size is all I changed, and I can throw that. If that tune-up goes on that 28, I might leave a 430 pass in it to start Sick Summer, which is put us deep into the 50s, maybe even 40s.
Oh wow,
so,
man!
Not that we want to go that fast, because we're gonna play it out. We want to see what everybody else
and
does.
Just lay the hammer down on folks day one. Be like, oh crap.
Well, I think it's a 20 or something stupid like that's the record, or 40 or so. I don't know. It's something pretty low in that class. I think Devin said it. So
and what, modified?
Yeah.
I
know between you two here or you
would
three,
have that.
somebody
I think.
Really?
I mean, unless we're talking about SICK Summer, if we're talking about SICK events in general, my thought would be is that it would probably be La Sala in 2.0 would be my guess, because Devin at that point was probably usually running unlimited.
I don't know. I know that it's pretty fast. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be hard to set a record at modified, and not impossible, but hard for sure. I think we'll have to step up to a lockup converter and drop some weight out of the car.
We're all for that.
Oh, well, as long as my wallet was, I'd be for it too. So I can't get this guy to diet though. We got 20 pounds of extra weight that he could get rid of without spending any money, but he won't do it. He likes ice cream and Oreos too much.
I've had one or two, maybe. I barely even had any Oreos. I don't know what he's talking about.
Ice cream, though.
Ice cream, though. I like ice cream.
Yeah. So looking here, and unless I've got something wrong, looks like modified SICK Week 24. Brett LaSalle laid down a 634, but it's quickest SICK Summer modified class 699 by Mike Manuel. Does that sound right there?
Yeah, that sounds right. That would have been the year that he scored his first 6, because LaSalle never ran Snot Rocket at SICK Summer, and that was 2024 was the last year that he ran 2.0 before they built the current car.
What was Brett's average though? Obviously a single pass doesn't really.
No. That's average. That's all we ever.
634 is the average. So
yeah.
So we got to. We got to go
SICK
super
Week.
Fast.
Yeah, that's SICK Week, and so typically, like when we look at record stuff, because things move around so much, except for like drag week, like SICK Week stuff is great. But SICK Summer stuff, because your air and tracks are so different, we always, I mean, if you're going to hold the record, that's not a micro record if you're holding the record at an event like SICK Summer and Rocky Mountain and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty awesome.
In case you're curious, single best pass that week, 626 with a 3.
Wow. Fine.
That's lockup converter area for our car. And wait, we'd have to pull. Now, mind you, the car is made to pull out about 100 pounds at the track if we wanted to. Maybe even a little more than 100 pounds. We can pull seat belts, radiator, coolers, and the gas tank. It's all made to come out. We did it that way on purpose, but we're not even going to start on that until after we get everything else working first.
Right. So you're talking to big injectors a while ago. Just thought, do you run a dual fuel and then do you drive on the big injector?
No.
Gotcha.
We did. Now, be honest with you, we tried it at Speedfest. We filled our 4-gallon cell in the front with alcohol, and we left the track and went to the first two checkpoints on alcohol with the front tank, just to kind of see. And it, on a highway and stuff, it did fine. I mean, the motor, what is it, 170, 180 degrees running alcohol running down highway. But the problem is like a part throttle loads. There were some definitely, like we would literally, some cylinders are so rich, you would lose the cylinder. Like it would just go out. They would get back into the gas and wake it back up.
I literally can't flow that little of fuel.
Yep. And the Fuel Tech's got a new injector driver box coming out that can take a big injector like that and take it down to 0 milliseconds. Like it can control, but it's 60 watts or 60 volts. 60 volts. So their new injector driver will run at 60 volts. So you can take a big injector and kick it straight, and you know what? So you can run it all the way down. We don't have that box yet, and nor would I try that on our, try a brand new unit on a drag and drive until we test it first. But we have a set of 160 pound injectors on the lower set that runs in the rear. We have a small pump in the rear, and that works fine, dude. It runs like really, really good on that other setup. Yeah. So,
well, and that injector is much easier to figure out on the street, I would think.
Oh yeah, that's all.
You're just trying to basically idle that car, for 400 miles or 700 miles or whatever.
That's the good thing is that we didn't go fast at SICK Week. We did drive the car every day and make all the, we went everywhere. So we proved out like the SML far as being able to drive and that all the parts did well. We checked glass, I think, once the whole time. I think Dave's checked it once since then with this engine. So that we're happy because the reason we stayed hydraulic roller for so long is on Dragon Drive. So we don't want to have that extra work involved that we'd have to do. But so far, we haven't had to really do much. Everything's been pretty solid on it, and I'm not even worried about the drives. And I wasn't kidding, guys. Dave thinks I'm crazy, but I literally bought a portable AC unit that's going to go in the car for us because after the 100-degree days last year and baking, I think it was worth it. So we're going to be the one guys in a pro modish car with an AC unit.
I think the temps are down this year. It's only going to be like 70 on Monday.
Bro, well, that's fine. It'll be nice. It'll be 60 in the car.
It's Midwest. It could be 90 the next day.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how's this AC set up? Is it just like a box itself, or is it like a electric?
It's a zero breeze. You might have seen commercials for them. Handheld, 20 pounds. You can stack up to 3 batteries. I only got 1 battery. It'll hook to our car. It'll charge. It's 5,200 BTU. Nice. So, I mean, most cars are between 10,000 and 15,000. So it's not like as good as a full out AC in your Ford F-150.
Yeah.
But the idea here is just if it gets, hot, that we can
knock the edge off.
Yeah. So, and here's the other thing is the guys
stick it in our trailer and go in there and hide.
Well, the funny thing is the guys from Zero Breeze, they've been trying to, they use them in NASCAR and a couple of things. And I'm going to be selling them. I got a drag. I'm not trying to plug it on here, but I've already got a couple guys going to Drag Week that have already, they're going to place orders for them. So like the setup I got is like $2,000. It's not cheap, but it's battery operated. So the cool thing is like you drive on your drive and it charges the whole time while you're using it. And then he's like, yeah, put it on your driver when he's sitting there getting ready, do this, do that. That's what they use in the NASCAR for. He's like, then like Dave brought it up, you can literally put it in your drag and drive trailer, set it in there, and that thing will be 65 degrees in there if you close the door, and you could take a break if it was bad. So they are expensive, but like I said, if it can keep him cool before it passes, and that's what they told me to do. They actually said, try to run it all day, leave it in the car until he goes to make a pass, pull it out so the inside of the car stays cool. That way, when you leave the track at the evening, it's good to go. So we'll probably try it like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, man, just route that thing right in underneath your shirt or up your pant leg while you're driving along if you need to.
Well, honestly, it has 2 outputs on the front. I'm just going to point one at Dave's head, one at my head. And you know what? And like I said, if it drops 15 degrees in the cab of the car, which is, they said probably what it could do is probably not going to drop 25, but he said that it'll probably drop, 15.
Dude, that'll be
15 to 20 degrees is enough. Like I told him, if it's 90 inside there and it drops it to 70, I'm cool with that. I'd rather it be 65, but well, and here's the thing is that, and like I said, I can see us using it for other situations, like laying under the car, working on a hot day. You can literally set it on the ground, pointing at the underneath you. So you got a nice cool breeze. Well, cool breeze blowing on you. So it's good. We're going to see how it goes. We are getting a little boozy with the nice trailer and the AC and they can point at me all you want.
Here's the thing. Once your car is upgraded to the point you're happy with it, then it's time to start that other stuff,
Yeah. I'm trying to put mufflers in, but Dave keeps on trying to get it. I was like, man, I'd like it to be quiet in here. Put a radio in, some mufflers on it.
He legitimately bought mufflers to try to fit on the car. I'm like, dude, he's going to have these weird like stacks coming up.
Oh, no.
Dude.
Come on, let's do it. Off and insert them. He's always got to make something more, and I have to go find them and hit them from me. So I'm going to go look for those after we get off here.
That's funny. Jason Hurley put side pipes on the Firebird with the new turbos and stuff, and it like comes out and like 270 degree down and back behind the door. And he's like, man, it makes a world of difference on the drive.
Y'all quit instigating this guy. Stop.
90 in the car would be like AC.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, dude. I'm telling you, last year was pretty bad. Like here's the bad part is I go to the sauna every day. Like literally, I'm not even. It's 160 degrees in there. I go in there every day for 45 minutes. I try to make it a ritual. And I remember last year still got to me by the time we're 3 hours in. So I don't know. We'll see. Here's the thing:
you're exerting yourself.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. The cool thing is, if it doesn't seem to work well, which if they're using it in NASCAR for NASCAR drivers, I think we'll be okay. I'll send it back. So. But we'll see. Well, I'm sure everybody will be checking on to see how that thing's working. Cause
they'll be like, hey, can I sit in that car for a few minutes? You'll be talking to them through the window. What? I don't know.
For me, the only time it really sucks is like when you get caught in the rain, like that rainstorm we got caught in last year for Six Summer. Dude, that was a torrential downpour, tsunami stuff.
You can't roll the windows down.
Can't. I mean, we cracked the windows some, but There's nothing to defog. It's just humid. It's hot. It's sticky. It's nasty. So when that happens, that'd be nice. Then I'll be happy we have it.
The other part too that nobody really knows, and I don't know if it's just our car, if it's every new Edge, even with the windows down. When I say this, guys, I'm not making up. There is zero airflow goes through the car.
Yeah.
You can literally roll both windows down and you will not feel a breeze at all. No air. You have to put something out to grab the air and pull it in.
Yeah. They weren't made to have the windows down. They were made to have the windows up and AC on.
I'm telling you right now that it does not have, and Dave will tell you, I'm not even, like no air comes in. You have to put your arm out, or I grabbed a piece of plastic off the dash the one time and like the air, what is it? The airbag cover. Took the one screw out, flipped the airbag cover out so it was stuck out the window to turbulence the air to get the air in there because, dude, it just sucks. So that's more of the reason why I did it. If we had airflow, I don't think it'd be bad, but we literally don't get airflow.
We need to have air in the old windows that flip out and suck the air in.
Yeah, like the old Chevy trucks, the little vent window. That'd be perfect.
The outside of the wing windows on the old truck are plastered in bugs. It's like just the outside half of it. Oh,
they work though.
It worked
it's like
incredible.
having AC.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it at least moves air around in there. Derek, let's get back to that list of folks you've got there in front of you that are signed up. What other modified folks you got coming? Sanders over here making comments too. Where I think I saw where Bryant Goldstone's bringing the Javelin. Maybe?
Correct. I actually reached out to him and confirmed it should be.
Nice.
Should be interesting considering that thing's fresh from HCR Innovations, got completely redone, and it only has made a handful of runs, including the NHRA race at Route 66 last month. So, but it looks like he's got it ironed out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, between Goldstone, Devin Vanderhoof, and Josh Davis coming, Alex Taylor, as the Diehl's mentioned, Steve Morris. I got to throw a little bit of a shout out here. The fact that Devin and Josh are running their car and their wives are driving the Sick Barbecue Hot Dog Ice Cream truck, and they have outfits per day. I cannot wait to see this tomfoolery.
I mean, that's going to be great.
Yeah. So now it goes without saying, it'll be interesting to see how it works. Mullet is coming back for the first time in 2 years.
Oh man!
On big floppy
on big tires.
Floppy tires.
On big floppy. So we lost one to radials, or gained one to radials, and lost one the opposite direction. So
well, my goal is I hate to say it, but my goal is however fast he goes on them big floppies, we got to go faster than that by the week. A single pass at least. That's what I'd have to say.
Yeah. I mean I'm very. Here's the thing. I'm very thankful that we still continue to get cars of that caliber. I feel like the cheat car challenge that was done last year obviously made an impression. Mike, we talked about what you guys did obviously with the cheat car challenge on a very much more limited budget and everything. I feel like it resonates with people more, but they've had a very rough start to this year. So I feel like the right call was made of, hey, let's take a break here and let's make sure that we don't go plowing into this, full force. And God forbid, because Tom was even getting excited about building the Volvo wagon that he's doing right now. So.
Yeah. But I've enjoyed those videos for sure.
Yeah. So I know those guys are coming. I think stick shift will be interesting because you've got Bob Gruber going for 3 in a row, which in stick shift with an 8-second car is
huge.
Not unheard of, but I mean, it's not easy to do. And as Nick brought up, Brian Crane, who was out of it last year, and now he's upgraded his cage to be able to run quicker than 850. Can he snatch the title? Because he was top 3, but he was limited to 850. So we'll see what he can do, because you guys did a whole bunch of work to his car. They took out a bunch of weight on it, and the old tower glass shaker will be back this year.
Yeah, he's
that thing's rough.
Obviously, it's got to make the week, but what I can tell you is he's not coming for anything less than first place, and he plans. He's got a tune-up in it to start the week off, and if it goes well, then the rest of the week should be pretty good.
Yeah, he's actually testing that car, getting ready for this, the way he wants it to, the way he intended to run it at 6 Summers, the way he's been setting the car up as far as weights on the clutch and stuff like that. So he's got it pretty lined out.
We love guys to test because that's how we feel like, sick week always kicks us into because we can't test. So our testing is there, and you can't make any changes by the time you get there. Whereas something like this, we got time to test. As you've seen, we just came back from testing, and Same thing with Brian. So we're glad to see him test because that's where you get it figured out, man. There's no better money spent than going to renting like a 131 and spending a day there.
Yeah. Typically the $300-ish that most tracks charge to do a rental, you get 10 or so people, $300 each, literally hands down the best money ever spent. You get a whole day, you get good prep. You ain't got to sit there and go to the lanes and wait for 45 minutes, an hour. You go when you're ready, you come back, make your changes, go when you're ready.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
Felt like we got off the track. We were talking about stick shift. Brian
Crane's so we talked about stick a little bit. I glossed over the fact that Bryant Goldstone will be going for his 4th in a row.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
he's an ultimate iron,
right? That's what he should be slotted into. I mean, that's what he's done it in the last 3 years.
Well, I know him and Taylor always seem to battle it out there. That's why I asked.
Pretty much.
And
yeah.
I think Steve's in there too now, or Steve was in there.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think his car would still qualify for it. I mean, he could technically, I'm not sure if he would be able to also run heavy metal. I'd have to look and see because I know that thing's close on weight. But the 850 categories are going to be interesting too. I wrote down some names for that. So on the 275 side, that's the side that Chris Mary has won on before. You've got defending champion Mike McMahon with his green Mustang, Jeremy Ortiz, who's a 3-time top 3 guy. Josh Lappin's coming. One of I think there's like 6 or 7 cars coming from Streetcar Shenanigans Performance. They always bring out a bunch. That's where Bob Gruber's car comes out of. Mary, I'm assuming you're jumping in either 275 or 6 Street Race, one or the other.
275.
Okay. Then you get into the 6 Street Race side of this, and let's start looking at like people that have done 850 stuff forever. Cameron Alley, Brian Acton, Randy Bellahar, Eric Berkovet, Cody Poston. I mean, there's all those guys entered. So it could be somebody that you expect to win. It could be somebody getting their first win. Like Cody Poston is a 2-time NMCA world champion, and he's never won an 850 class, but he's been close. And then he jumped in this matchup stuff, and he's right there where he needs to be. So
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
that's our jam. We love that.
Yeah.
So we're hoping.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying we're hoping at some point and this caveat back to the original conversation. We're hoping at some point Tom takes the 2 850 classes, puts all those guys in one, and then opens up a 750 class in that other one. That way there's that room for them guys. And then I think it's even funner because then you got 12 or 13 guys that are running 850 on a number that can battle it out versus splitting it into 2 different ones. And it's an index. Like to me, it doesn't matter. Like the car, they can bring a top field dragster if they want. Like we're running an index anyways. But
the great thing about the 275 and splitting between the street race setup is the rule package, right? So like that's why Acton and those guys run 6 street races because it's more geared towards like the drag week setup where 275 is a little more open but also limited to 850.
Yeah.
So, I love having the 2 because it gives an opportunity for I think more people sign up because it's 2 classes.
Really?
Hey, let's add a 750 index class of some kind though. I'm in on the 6 sevens.
That's what I'd like to see happen. I mean, I have very little control over that, but my opinion, and granted, I'm probably in the minority here, because of my car being a small tire stock suspension car, I feel like you getting a car to run repeated 850s on that is way different than you can run an aftermarket front end, aftermarket spoiler, ladder bar, aftermarket 4-link, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then you're just limited to a 275 tire. I feel like there needs to be those, like you said, for the purists that are using the Hot Rod Drag Week rules versus the 275 style class, which is more Rocky Mountain Race Week and some of the other, either 4 or 5 day or major style event rules. I feel like there's a little bit of each. I don't think there needs to be 4 classes. I don't think you need to separate them by engine because it doesn't matter if you're making 1,500 horsepower with a big block Chevy or you're making it with an LS or a Coyote. It doesn't matter. The cubic engine.
Well, like our blue car, only thing that keeps it out of the one class is the fact that the shocks are moved in instead of being in a factory location. So we went out and bought after we got kicked out of class once. We went out and bought lower control arms and shocks to move it so we could just sell up to one and throw them because it's not going to change. The car is going to run the same number that it did, and it's the same everything. So literally a change of control arms and throwing the other shocks back in, or throwing the shocks back in on the control arm versus on the back is the only thing that keeps like our blue car out. So to me, I just think that's all factory suspension car and it, I guess it runs the number pretty good. Obviously, we didn't bring it for that class because it's already done well there. We wanted to do something different. But either way, I get what you're saying, the whole purist thing. I just think index is index. It's maybe I look at it wrong. 850s nowadays is pretty easy on any car, really. If you horsepower is so available. That's all I'm saying.
I'll send my car to you as a roller. You can easily put that together for me. Thank you.
Just write that check.
I will.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I promise you, I swear on everything. It's all about horsepower. And you know how easy it is to make horsepower now. So,
Right now.
We'll make it run a 140, 60 foot and run 850. I mean, you got a lot of track to do it on. You don't have to go fast up. You don't got to go fast early.
So last question here, and then we got to move on. What is, and this is probably a better one for Derek too, but what is there like between 850 and there really isn't a class? I mean, because right now, like Modified, Super Sport, Street, and all those guys are going low 7s, high 6s, right?
Yeah. So nothing official has been done yet. I mean, Tom's very thankful for the.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like just as this is a across the board.
Yeah, there's really nothing. I mean, you basically go from the 850 base categories, and Hot Rod Drag Week, for example, they don't even allow a funny car cage. So that restricts it even more. So the minute you put a funny car cage in there, now you have to run either either super street, modified, or you have to go into like a heavyweight or something similar. So yeah, there is no gap. And I feel that there's going to be a 750 class at some point. Yeah. I don't know if we take two classes and combine them. I don't know if something gets eliminated. I don't know what the magic answer is at the moment because we've only done it once. But yeah, I feel like it's a gap that needs to be brought in.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Big shout out to D-Torx again. Love the pump that's in the car. Eric's Mustang is going to get a full D-Torx treatment from injectors, lines, pumps, fittings, all the cool stuff they make. It's going to be all D-Torx, so we'll know that inside and out. Performer built transmissions. Eric, you want to read this one, and then we'll move into some stuff about King of the South.
Yep. Performer Built is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performer Built Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performa Built.
I want to talk about Turn and Burn just real quick. You guys did a heck of a job. There, it's fun to watch that stuff. Love the videos. Grabbed a YouTube cover here, dude. How much fun was that event?
That was a great deal. I mean, the fact that Mickey Thompson stepped up that big with Summit Motorsports Park to put something like that together after years of being, a very big supporting cast member of a lot of Dragon Drives, ours included. I feel like again, it's one of those things where if the weather is a little bit different, it would probably have gotten more participation, but I still think it was a solid first effort. And again, I could see very easily that coming back and getting even bigger and better, just like anything else. The first year with so many Dragon Drives, like you said, even with 2 cancellations this year, we're at 49. So it's getting spread pretty much. So you've got to be able to at least have somewhat of a decent first, get your feet on the ground, and then figure out what you need to fix for the next year. So we were very thankful to be called and be a part of that. And we talked about the fact that the Diehl Brothers did well at that. Val and Steve Morris doubled up and won in their categories. So it was pretty good. I mean, I think for a first-year deal, like I said, with the weather forecast, it wasn't all that great looking going into it, that it was still a very good, solid turnout for a first one.
Yeah, I had a great time there.
I thought it was great, honestly.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the single track? Was that interesting to you guys, or did it make it better by the time you got to the third day of racing?
The what?
Single day track.
Single day track.
Yeah. I think there's a place for it. Just like the turn and burn.
That's what we're talking
Well,
about.
that's what I mean. Like the single track, you do 3 days at the same track. How did that help your tuning and all that?
No, I mean, I don't think it changed. To me, like, once again, we do things different than other people. So having the same surface every day, the air changed dramatically from day 1 to day 2 anyways, from the testing day. It was pretty good there, actually. And they did. That was our first time going to that track,
and they did a great job on the track, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, and it was cool to see. And this is what I really liked. And I know it's not possible all the time. So you watch Nick Taylor make some really good passes with his new car, or bringing his car back out. You watch Alex Taylor make some good passes, right?
But then, PB, didn't
and then you turn around, had radio guys doing really well because they prepped it accordingly. And I wish that there was like, and then drag weeks, drag week, right? But they'd really, I think when you have this many people on this many tires, like the thing, sometimes events overshadow the fact that they need to accommodate everybody a little bit. And drag week's one of them. I mean, you got to make the car work, and I get that. But at the same time, is if you want to be and this is going to piss some people off, but I don't care. Go to any of the events and see how many floppy tires you got versus radial tires. And if you were going to cater to one, you would cater to the masses, not to the, anyhow, you get what I'm saying? So it kind of sucks when you go to some events and they don't put any kind of adequate time and stuff into the track. And they did really good at that event. Now, mind you, there wasn't a lot of cars. And I would say the other thing I bring up, and I know it's hard as a promoter, I would rather pay more money to go to a drag and drive and be involved with a drag and drive. Say it was $600-700 and there was only 200 cars. Where we're not crammed in there as bad. We have more room for pits and we have more time to make good passes. I think when you oversaturate the amount of people and the amount of times that you have something like what happened with Sick Week, obviously 2 years ago, where it was one pass, and if you didn't get a good pass that one, you pretty much were done. Like that was what happened to us. There was nothing we could do because our first pass was bad. Even if we recovered and ran a personal best every day the rest of the week, your 9-second pass ain't gonna. So. And if you limit the cars, you have more time to get passes. And then I also like the one thing Sick has done that I see other places doing is doing calling for the tires and then changing the prep throughout the rounds. I see other events doing that more now.
Yeah, Sick's getting really good about it. Get the floppy tires up there. Okay, hey, they're done. Let's get some glue on the track now. Now them guys laid some good base rubber down. Get the radial guys down, the fast radial guys down.
But I also think it's tough for a prepper too, because there's not probably but a handful of prep guys in the country that
can
change the surface that fast. And
that fast,
keep it good and keep it good. I know they can do it, but to keep it good for each person the best they can like that, it's tough because you got guys like Goldstone and like Steve used to be and all and they, if the track's too tacky, it tries to knock their teeth out, right? Yep. But we go up there and the track's like a bracket track, how they want it. And then we can't go do a personal best because the track's not there. So I don't know what the answer is. The only reason I brought it up.
And then you guys are in the same class like that. That's where it gets really tough. Like you may be in the same class as a slick tire guy and the slick tires get, I hate to say maybe they get more catered to or anything like that, or vice versa. Radials get more catered to, but like a slick can go down a radial track, but it's really
radial
hard
car yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can't go the other way and go fast. You can go down it, and we've had to do that throughout. I mean, we went down Woodward Ave on a radial tire faster than even the big tire cars. So yes, you can cater the car to make it happen. But if you show up to an event, planning for a certain surface, and then you never get the surface, and you don't have the stuff with you to do that, now we carry like we bring weight with us. We bring a different set of tires with us in case the track's not like you have to nowadays. You don't know what surface you're gonna get, and then you go to somewhere like was that Shady Side down there for that King of the South? And the truth is, like, they're calling it gangster prep. So I'm sitting here thinking the track's going to be horrible. And I get there, dude. And the track is better than some of the radial tracks we've been on. Like, they kept the track tight. So I'm like, I don't know. It's so weird. But I do want to give a shout out to the Sick prep guys this last week. They did it with the rain and all the stuff. Dude, they kept the track really good. I don't think it was fun but one time to hold it. And you drove over something.
Yeah, like I pointed it out before I made the pass. Actually,
so they did a really good job of catering. I think everybody did really well, and like bringing it back to the guy. I think Ralph, Derek might be able to correct me on that. I think Ralph or whoever it was that did the prep for Turnenberg. Obviously, he's a specialist. I can't.
Kurt Johnson from TVC did it.
Not Ralph. Yeah, and he did an excellent. They were able to rotate through the classes and get the prep right for the class that was up next. And so I don't know how we got into that whole thing, but it was one of those things that's been on my mind. I guess this is how different organizations cater to everybody, and some just say, oh, this is what you're going to get. And
well, Turnenberg, did you guys race each other in the downhill derby cars or whatever they call that?
Did not. Well, fortunately for us,
we
heard an engine.
Well, we heard an engine, but it wasn't what we thought.
Wow.
Long story short, we had flywheel bolts loose. So it was making noise, and we didn't know that until we got home.
God, man.
Had we known that's what it was, we'd have never tore the engine apart, and we would have just threw spark plugs in it and drove. So
life of the Dragon Drive right there. It's got to be bearings. It's got to be rods. It's got to be all that.
Well, here's the bad
flywheel
part.
bolts.
We pulled the oil pan off, and literally you couldn't tell the car had ran yet, and we just got done doing a 440 pass or something like that.
Yeah, we were 440.
They let out of the 8th, ran a 683 or something. So we had a good tune up. We're like, all right,
it's 87, I think.
Whatever. We get back and we nipped the plug. We figured that out, fixed it. I tapped the hole because it got whatever. We put it in a stacker the next day because we just wanted to pull the pan off, and you can't tell the car's ever running. We're like, what the heck is the noise? Here's the bad thing. We fixed the car where we could have fixed the car. We decided not to. We get to the shop. Dave puts it on the hoist, and the very first thing he finds is the flywheel's loose. So
dude, that's heartbreaking.
It is, because we could have did really well, even with that nip plug. I mean, it wasn't going to hurt nothing, whatever. But that's how it goes. We were burnt out. We've been working really hard for a lot of long hours, and it was like, you know what? We got our camper here. Let's relax and
enjoy the show.
Help Steve and Val. Yeah,
that was the goal. Yeah, pretty much just help Steve and Val and just enjoy the time there.
Speaking of show, how was King of the South?
Good.
That was a good event.
It rained once again.
It was bad.
Yeah,
so muddy.
That's why we went out.
I didn't think about that, dude. Is that the darkest place on earth when they shut the lights off?
Brother, it was pretty dark. I thought it was a cool event. To be honest with you, the vibe was good. The only thing the bad taste in our mouth, and it's our fault more than I always blame us, but when they pulled Harley around, we were there for Harley in the 530 class, and the car had been running really good. Well, like we said, it goes down their road on that tune-up. Long story short, there's so many people, you had to go out and around to the pit. Well, you go through the mud, which mud there is clay. And once that clay got on the tires, dude, it was a wrap. So Dave tells the guys, like, hey, man, we need to go drive this around the pits. We got to get this mud off. We can't go up to the starting line. And they're like, no, pull up to the water box. We'll wash it off. Well, they take a hose and just start hosing inside the wheel wells and all the stuff. Well, no bull crap, dude. As he's doing a burnout, clumps of mud are falling under the tire and going out. So the car leaves, it goes about 3 foot, runs over a clump of mud that big, and it spins the tire. Like,
dang it.
But it's you always got to remember, like I said, I didn't know what was going on because I was up there filming and doing everything else.
Like I told Harley, as the driver of the car, you have the ultimate decision to say no to anybody. When they were telling him to come around down there to stage, and it was force him to come off of the road, off onto the side into the grass / mud, he should just look at him, shook his head, said no.
Nope. When everybody moves, I'll pull through. I'm not going in the mud before I go to race. But so it's a lesson learned for all of us, because the truth is I would have called if I'd have knew there was that much mud on the car and what was going on, and I wasn't there, I wasn't a part of it, because we only had one car running. There's a couple of us, and I was trying to get I was trying to get footage of the event, which was fun. Had I known, I mean, I would have called it off. I wouldn't know, not just because we didn't want to spin, but I also don't want to send somebody down the track and get hurt. So they spent
dirt clod at 300 feet's way different than one at 3 feet.
Yes. So like I said, I didn't know what was going on. Dave tried to call him off. Dave's on the side telling him Harley to not go into the beams. I'm confused at this point because I'm on the other side of the track, like with the camera.
And the car looks fine.
I'm looking at Dave, looking at Harley. I'm like, I don't know what's going on at this point. And then at that point, it's too late. But other than that, and they ended up calling the event anyways. So even if he'd have made that round, he made $600. He got $600 back, which is like the entry, right? So it's not like anybody walked away with the 30 grand. But the event itself, I would go back. It's just a long, long drive. I don't know. It's tough. You almost have to go planning on winning the 30 grand to go. That's for us anyway.
Shady Side is such a cool track, though. Like the way it sits down in the valley and all the, just the cool stuff that goes on there. But man, they turned the lights off in Southeast Street 23. Good Lord. I was like,
it's dark.
That's probably the next time we would be back there. Honestly, it's probably for a street need. I'd really like to go do that.
Oh man!
Yeah, we told Devin that's one of our bucket lists. We would definitely want to go do that event with Devin because it looks like just a fun time. And that's what we're doing this for now. To be honest, I mean, we're going to win, but we're doing it for the fun and hanging out with all guys like you. Like we don't get to do that here every day. So Soon we might have to retire from Dragon Drive, man. So we got to get it in.
No way. Get out of here. Just kind of down to 5 a year instead of all of them.
That's the problem is that we cut back. Like in Dave's right. We need to what we're doing now is focusing on stuff where we possibly could go win, because then you can fund the next race. Because that's all I was doing, was taking the money from the winning and you're putting it right back into the car or the next hotels and gas ain't cheap right now. So.
Derek, does that make them professional race car drivers?
Oh, absolutely.
I
think it does.
I don't know anybody else that gets on 4 different laptops. I'm sorry, professional level.
God,
you said it, dude, not me.
Yeah,
so
man.
You said professional race car driver.
Or race car team. I guess professional race car team.
Considering that in less than a year, David has won 2 Sigma Mag orange helmets, and Nick has now tuned 4 different laptops in 1 race. I'd say they're both professionals.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Your professional Dragon Drive team.
They're too legit. Yes.
Oh, here we go.
However, Nick needs to step his excitement level back up at 6 Summer, because he was very uncharacteristically non-Nick on the excitement level this time.
He became Nick
after I found out.
He realized
after I said it on the mic about 7 times. I mean, like, we're sitting there going.
The thing is, like, they won by 100,000 or whatever it was, and I'm like, no, there's still cars. And then finally, I'm looking back, I'm like,
oh, there ain't no more cars.
We were last cars. And I kept tracks on
the best video clip I've
Narks,
ever
I swear
seen.
to God, if you go find the video, he had to get told by, I think it was on our video or somebody's, I forget who it was. Somebody had to tell him like 6 times. Meanwhile, you can hear me in the background announcing, Nick, it's okay to celebrate. Nick, it's okay. Your brother won. And then he finally starts to celebrate. And then here comes Chris Marion in the water box, and Nick has to go back into professional mode. Oh, crap, I got a car to take care of.
Well, we're trying to win with him, too. So, like I said, had his car made a full pass, we think we'd have been real close to it. But
Nick would have gone higher.
Not that kind of seat time.
Flames out of the jet cars.
No, dude. Hey, I actually got the footage from me being in the tower with you. I think that's in my video. It's kind of a cool deal. Because once that smoke comes up, everything disappears. Like, you don't even know where you're at no more.
So I can tell you that is the only tower that I've ever been in with jet cars where the smoke starts to come inside the tower.
Oh, nice.
It rolled through the glass, and it made me think of the first time I ever visited Great Lakes Dragaway, and some crew guy that was there. And I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love old school racetracks. And Great Lakes reminds me of the track I grew up racing at, Moroso Motorsports Park, where you drove under the tower on either side. But this guy literally is like so excited about the fact that we're there. He goes, "You're going to love our tower. It has glass in it." And I'm like, as opposed to
it being open. What are you talking about? That's awesome.
I tell you what, when they were hitting them jets and I was in that tower, I looked at him and said, "Is this tower? Is it going to stay up?" It felt like the building would come down, man.
Yeah, moving a little bit.
Yeah, Derek's
awesome.
like nonchalant, don't care. I'm like, yeah, I'm just waiting for the one more blast when the bricks come out from under it and we just kind of tower down. But you never know.
It's ceiling tiles that come down.
Beach Bend's a little older of a track. I love that track. Actually, I didn't like that track. Well, actually, every time we've been to that track, Stilts, it stormed. It rains every time. We stopped going to LS Fest because it always rained. One year we didn't even make a lick down. We drove all the way down there and never even made a pass because of the rain.
Oh,
last year was good.
Well, we weren't there last year, so of course it was. Yeah. So far this year, rain has followed us everywhere. So
it's your fault. It's your fault. Okay, let's wrap this up. I got one more topic to talk about that I think you guys are going to like. Big shout out to Ryan and the team at Performer Built. If you need a GM transmission to go fast or to make your cool car cruise along, they're the guys. When they put a 4L60 on the 7s in a Camaro, like I don't, that's pretty impressive. AFCO Racing, this is the last part here. Racers know when you want performance that wins, you want AFCO. From shocks and suspension to cooling brakes and more, AFCO Racing has been helping teams go faster for over 30 years. Built by racers for racers. Check out the AFCO Advantage and follow them today on social media for the latest in performance parts. AFCO Racing, built to win. I want to talk about the thing that was posted a couple hours ago. I don't even know if you guys have seen this yet, but Brandon Dobbin, Low Dollar Motorsports, is going to put on, he's talking about, here we go, Attention Dragon Drive cars. We're interested. Who's interested in a heads up style street car race October 1st through 3rd, 100 car field broken up into 3 categories. The only rule, you must complete the 100-mile cruise. I don't care what tire you're on, big block, small block, or if you're in a top fuel funny car. If you complete the cruise, you're in. The fastest surface you'll ever race on, US 60 in Hardingsburg, Kentucky. This is a chance to race on a surface better than SGMP. What do you guys think about the Turkey Crash here?
Dang. I saw that and immediately was like, man, I wonder what our schedule looks like for October 1st through 3rd.
Me too, brother.
I hadn't looked yet because I saw it and I've been working and stuff, and I haven't dug into our calendar yet to see what we have going on around that area.
Well, here's a good news. That would be the race that we go ahead and when we get back from our cruise, we pull all the weight out of it and put a 315 on it. So we can by then we should have all the bells and stuff worked out.
Or do you want to play the game and fall into the middle class so you don't have to race Devin?
Absolutely not. Nope. Yeah. I'd rather go to the fast class and take our chance personally, but might have a lockup by then.
I had been talking to Matt Lang. He's super interested in this race, obviously, but him and I had been talking about, like, when are we going to see a big, badass radial only style, Dragon Drive setup? And man, I think Brandon answered it. So October 1st, this should be pretty interesting.
Air's going to be good too.
Yeah, you're pretty much taking 100. I mean, if you're shooting for 100,
20 of the fast riders.
I mean, I wonder how you do it. Like, do you do like a World Cup type final entry and stuff like that? And try, 1 week you got this ET, this next week, the next ET, the next week, the next ET, and fill it up that way.
Like qualify, you got to qualify into it.
Yeah, you have to have completed maybe something where you have to have completed a Dragon Drive throughout the year.
Yeah, I think that's can always be a rule for stuff like that
because it says Dragon Drive deal, so you have to have completed a Dragon Drive, and then do like a World Cup finals like entry, like this bracket, this bracket, this bracket, and fill that way.
Because then you could almost manage the ET range, Yeah. It's like if you're limiting it to 100 and you want the quickest 16 cars to be in the 6s, you need to invite those dudes. Man, there's so many cars that are fast. That's interesting. I'm excited to see. I've already sent him an email. I'm like, dude, how can we help? What do we need to know? How can we do whatever?
I think that's definitely something we haven't been to US 62, so that's another thing. Like we've been wanting to get down there. We were talking about going down and meeting up with Jason Trell and them from Tin Soldiers with Steve's cars and doing like a suspension and rent the track and like do this and that and do some collaboration stuff. So we were going to go down for that, but it hasn't happened yet. But you guys brought something up earlier talking about and this is off that subject, and I know we're running short on time here. But something that I brought up, and maybe you guys can tell me what you think, and then maybe we can collaborate on this later on off camera. But me and Dave have been talking about putting together, me, Dave, and all the guys around here, putting together a cheap car challenge, and bringing in 20 YouTube channels that are 50,000 and less people, maybe 10, whatever we come up with, make it a $10,000 budget, your own money. Everybody buys into it for $1,000 that goes into a pot for the winner. Nice. You do your own videos. And then you send in like certain clips and we'll put like a YouTube page together just for it. So everybody's clips goes in and somebody edits it.
That'd be awesome.
You get somebody like Rick Dodge or Lonnie Grimm.
Don't invite the Nelsons. Don't invite the Calvin Nelson.
No. Well, and the thing is, you got to have somebody that's going to police it. But I think it'd be a cool way to collaborate with a bunch of people throughout the whole country
that are up and coming. We'll call it. You know, we're not taking the big names like Cletus and all CJ and all them guys. We're doing something with the smaller guys that can do something.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like the bucket list guys and just some of the smaller stuff. I think it'd be cool to do something a little on the lower level. I know people have done stuff like that, but to make it where every week we got an episode of everybody, this guy, and you don't have to do it over a month period. Let's make it over a 3-month period. Let's not stress each other out over it.
That'd be
but
awesome.
Keep the budget that's within, even though 10,000 is a lot of money, right? But keep it at I think that's to buy the car, build the car, do it. I think people can go 850s in there or close to it anyways.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think you could definitely do that. You may only do it a few times, but I think you could definitely do it.
You only got to do it once to win, right?
That's right.
It has to be the last time, but you got to do it once.
It has to be the last time. Yeah, it can't be the first time. Yeah, that's a great idea, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I just like I said, I want to bounce it off the guys. You guys do this stuff every day, and it's
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure with the right people, Derek, and getting the word out and this and that, and getting a good rule set together. I know that I feel like there's a lot of guys that would like to be involved with that, and maybe instead of doing like a single track, maybe we make it a 6 week thing or make it a 6 summer thing next year, and that way other like the people that are watching the buildup of it get to come watch it live. And like I said, I think we limit it to 10 or 20. I don't even know if there's that many people be interested, but I'm sure we'd find out pretty quick.
I would say 10 because listen, talk to Casey Matthews. He's the guy that ran our cheap car challenge, and he spent hours on the final day going through everybody's car and all that kind of stuff. Hours and hours. He was like, I'm not doing that like that again. So he's got some
the hard part.
ideas.
Is like you gotta, what scares me about it is there's always going to be that guy that wants to be on the gray, right? That's going to show them putting together this glide with all these stock parts. And then once the camera turns off, they put the other glide in. It looks the same on the outside, right? Or they got a billet block that they sandblast and make it look like a cast block and throw some paint on it. There's always going to be that guy.
At the same time, I think with something like that, you control the narrative. Like, so you're picking the people that are doing it. And, you know, as long as everybody knows it's for fun, it's for doing this, and it's really to get into that, like 90% of the people are going to play nice. You may have one guy, and if he's way out in front, he ain't coming back and he making his ass whipped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's the truth too. You get the right group of people, and we're doing it for fun. I mean, there's obviously if you do it for $1,000 and you do 10, it's $10,000 to win. Or you break it in the first top 3 spots, whatever. It's not about the money. The reason I would want to put money on it is it gives everybody incentive to do their best, of course. And then
for sure.
It also makes it interesting for the fans or the people watching everybody do it. So and the other
the
part,
$1,000 challenge has a whole new meaning.
Yeah, which we just got. I can't talk too much about it, but we did just get off a video meeting with the Horsepower Wars. So,
oh man, dude, you guys would kick ass out there at that. Bucket List Mob says they'll build a straight axle car,
and I think you
use that's why I brought. Why do you think I brought them up? Because I knew they would be in it, and like I said, here's the thing: is what you get from it. Here's what I think YouTube channels get from it. Our 10,000 whatever people are going to probably, anybody that's involved in that are going to go subscribe to their channels to see what they're doing on there. And the same thing down. So now you take a couple channels that only got 10,000, 20,000, and they're going to double and triple up. So even though you're spending money to build this car and do this challenge, I think in the end, you kind of get that back in your YouTube channel that you're trying to build. It is tough. If anybody has done it, like, I think we've done fairly well for being a little over a year in and being over 10,000 and being organic. We haven't had any viral, nothing. You know what I mean? If you go viral one time, you can have 100,000 subscribers. You have that one hit that just blows you up, right? This guy had a TikTok or a freaking Instagram with his kid in the cars and blew up, went viral, and he went to like 20,000 subscribers or something. I got 800 subscribers on Instagram. Make that make sense. I'm maxed out on Diehl Brothers on Facebook. I'm maxed out. I can't get any more. On my friends list, I'm maxed out. I can't get any more. I got followers over that, but you see what I'm saying? On Instagram, I got 890 followers.
Dude,
that's YouTube, I got 11,000. Like, so it's hard, man. And I don't think we're not looking to make a living out of it, but boy, it does. If you're doing all this racing, it doesn't hurt.
If we're just showing what we're already doing, and it helps.
Yeah. And here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing. Like when you guys have grandkids and all that kind of stuff that comes around, you can say Pawpaw was cool. Pawpaw was good. This is what Pawpaw did right here.
It's proof.
Well,
yeah, that's right.
Because my youngest son comes home from school. He's the one who's been filming. I don't know if you guys have paid attention or seen it, but the last 2 or 3 videos, literally my 12-year-old son has picked up the camera. And if you watch the progression from the first video from Speed Week or Speedfest, you watch the first video, and then you watch the last video from that. He did all the video on it. And literally awesome. Every single day, his progression got better and better. Now, mind you, he's only 4 foot tall, so his angles are a little off. Looks good for burnout, so.
His angles are about the same as yours.
Oh, this guy. So, but it was cool seeing him. Now he started a channel, and he's been doing shorts every day. And that little crap already gets 2,000 to 3,000 views on all his shorts every day. And so it's kind of cool seeing somebody, but anyways, what I was going, like, he has friends at school that say, hey, I watched their dad's channel and stuff. He said, he thinks it's cool. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, she don't think it's as cool. She's like, it's kind of weird, Dad. It's like weird.
Yeah.
My daughter said the same thing. She's like, it's weird watching you guys on YouTube.
Like, my friends say, yeah. Well, then we're at dinner the other night to go with us. I don't know if you watched the last video, but Sonny Batman, which was one of the most awesome people in the world. He came and got his truck, and we took him to 131 and did all that. He took us to dinner after we got done, and that is a drag and drive truck. He actually wants me to go out to Redwood Rally in September. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So he wants me to fly out there and run that truck with him and that. And I've always wanted to go out there anyways.
Cool.
I don't want to take our car all the way out there, but he's like, dude, if we can run 8s, I think we can win the thing with this truck. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, that truck's easy up there.
so I might end up out there. Well, that'll be a new drag and drive event for us.
That'd be
but
awesome.
we're at the restaurant, and my son's there because he's been filming for us the whole day. And we had some guys walk over, and they're like, "Hey, man, we watch all your videos." And dude, my son thought it was the coolest thing ever. And for us, we're like, it's kind of odd still for us with that stuff. We're kind of weird about it, I think, because we're just race car guys.
All you gotta do is just, man, thanks. I appreciate you guys. High fives and hugs.
We're getting better at it, man. We do the handshake. Thanks for watching, But it was like we're just like everybody else, and I think anybody that could do what we're doing, but maybe not the build part of it, but the other stuff we're not really good at it. We just do it. So
the documenting. I was in the junkyard today and was recording some stuff for Narcoleptic because I was trying to pick up some parts, and man, the people were just like, "What the heck?" So that's probably the weirdest part is like when you're out away from a group and you're just recording. Cody Ham, this is hilarious. So I don't know if you guys have seen his video, but he's the white Jeep, like the white postal Jeep that does the burnout and then tries to run his wife over in the ditch. Oh my god!
I think I caught a glimpse of that.
Man, I think I've watched that video 12 times.
So what you're pretty much saying is that I got to get my wife to try to line us up in a burnout. Dave's got to try to run her over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I won't miss.
Oh, my wife, Dawson's about to pop up at the bottom. Like, what'd you say?
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, the bucket list mob. This truly is why I really went next level with recording stuff with the shop channel. My dad passed away in February of 20, and then after that, I was like, man, I want as much as I can get. And so one of our biggest videos on that is him helping me recover the seat on the C10 truck. So that's super cool. Awesome. And wouldn't have that footage if I wasn't doing that. He thought it was dumb that we were recording that day. He's like, you see him eye rolling and all that stuff. But that's one of the reasons.
I love that, man. That's a great story. It's something funny, and I don't want him to get too big a head up there. But Derek didn't know how important it was. His announcing, one of his first times announcing for us was the first 6 summer. And we were trying so freaking hard to get a 7-second pass. Like, getting that first one's tough, and you're at the track's not good. It's hot. The event, whatever. And literally, we are now the last pass down. And I remember listening to him announce it and how he said, I'd never be able to repeat it exactly like he did, but he's like, it's the 9th inning, last night. And I just remember hearing, and I'm trying to line cars up and do all these things. And then it happens, and he starts yelling and screaming, and I'm like, now it got me elevated. Like, he brought so for us, that's one of the moments, and that one ain't on video, but it's in here. Like, I will never forget that moment, because it was like, it wasn't even an accomplishment, right? Not really.
It was though, you know what I mean?
But nowadays, like, we clip it at freaking a couple 100 feet and roll a 7. So, I mean, then it was.
It was an accomplishment at that time, 100%.
But it was the way that it all came together. And sometimes it's how that stuff comes together, right? Had we went there and went 7 to first pass, I don't think it would ever have meant nothing to us. But now that it did that, like, whenever we're having a bad moment in drag racing, to be honest with you, whenever we're just struggling, I always go back to that memory. I think Dave said the same thing. We go back to that thought, like, keep pushing. That last pass might be the pass. It might be that one, right? And so that moment always plays back in us, and kind of helps keep us going. So I told Derek that one day. He's like, I didn't know you guys cared that much. I'm like, no, really, that was that kind of. That's why he's our. No offense to everybody else, but he's our favorite announcer, because he's embedded in. Like, it's like, what is that? What's that with the vampires and the freaking werewolves? He's embedded in us over that crap.
Yeah.
So
and
he's stuck for the rest of his life.
Right, and the great thing about what you guys have done with, like, your sick drag and drive career, basically, let's call it that. Derek has called every pass you've made. So like Derek knows the stories. He knows the conversations. He's had these. He's watched you guys. He's had conversations with you. Like that only helps. So like just it increasingly helps as he's going on and telling more stories and doing all that fun stuff. So when you go to a new track, that person has to learn all of the stuff all over again. But man, yeah, Derek does an incredible job announcing.
With everybody though, it's like he knows everybody. Yeah,
the amount of info that dude's brain is retaining, or he's just got a notebook.
Both.
You got a stack of notebooks with everybody's info on it, and like, oh, this car's coming up. I'm just going to flip to their name in alphabetical order, so you know everything. Or are you just
it's a little bit of a mix. if you guys want me to make fun of myself and talk about how bad my memory is / how good it is, feel free, and that's how we can end the show.
Yeah, it's one of the weirdest things when you're in the tower and there's somebody like all the stuff there, but I may not remember their name, or I may remember that they ran a 7 last time, but now they run it. I mean, like, dude, it's one of the hardest things out there.
Yeah, it's honestly, it is, in my opinion, and a lot of people have a hard time believing this, it is as fulfilling to me to be able to call some of these great laps and these great memories as being able to race myself. Some people don't understand that, and I still love drag racing. Don't get me wrong, I do. But being able to see somebody reach a goal or an accomplishment or even just a new PB by a couple hundredths of a second, I feel very lucky to still be able to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. All right. Well, let's end on that note, because if we're going to talk backstage, you guys haven't done any work in 2 hours, and that's bad.
No, that means we got 2 more hours that we got to be here, and it's like 90 degrees.
Cody says, I'm terrible with names. I'll forget names mid-conversation. Bro, preach that. Big shout out to AFCO Racing and all the stuff they do for us. We appreciate them. And, like I said, cooling brakes and more, suspension, all the parts and pieces. And you guys run AFCO on your cars, right?
I was just going to say, Derek, that's the first thing you need for your car to run in the 8s is AFCO shocks front and rear.
He said the check's in the mail.
I'm gonna, I'll start making I'll make another list now. Thanks.
Well, I'm just saying, man.
I tell you, one thing, no BS. I could take a bone stock LS and a crap car and stuff like that, and put a good converter and good struts and everything in it, and make it fly. Good shock struts and a converter. I mean, literally, that's the biggest aspect of everything in a car.
Mm-hmm. They all know that.
I know they know that, but it's like a lot of people that might be watching this don't know that.
Yeah, them are the 3 main components. Honestly, good converter, cam converter, and suspension. Honestly, if you can put a crappy 2-speed power glide in it.
When I say that, like Big Gun X is what we ran for years. Some of our
106 60 foot,
106 60 foots on Big Gun X's out of the box.
Out of the box, no custom valving, nothing.
That's awesome. Okay, we're going to put you guys backstage. You're welcome to hang out. Let us get this thing shut down, and then we'll talk for another 30 or 40 minutes.
Whatever. We love you, Derek. See you guys, Mike. All you guys.
Thank you guys for having us. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks everybody else for watching.
Dude, what a fun show, man. Derek, thank you.
It's been awesome. Absolutely, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Yep. Man, crazy. That was a good time. I didn't mean for us to go 2.5 hours, but hey, that's the way it goes when you get Derek Putnam and the Diehl Brothers and all of us kind of mixed in the room there. So pretty awesome. A lot of fun stories. We'll, you want to send us out?
Yep.
Pull it back up here.
Got it. Yep. All right. Appreciate all of our race car friends tuning in tonight. Lots of comments and good conversations all night. So appreciate all of you guys. Look forward to seeing all of my race car friends here coming up next week at Six Summer. And again, can't do this without all of our sponsors that make this possible. Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk. And we'll see everybody on Saturday morning.
Yep. See you guys.